Welcome to Nimmin Live, the #1 place on the internet to learn about YouTube, network with other content creators, and have an awesome time doing it. My name is Nick, and today we are answering your YouTube questions. And when I say me, I mean myself, possibly another guest, and my brother from the same mother, D.
What is going on? How you put the possibly other guest before your brother from the same mother.
Right.
That's because you're really a brother from a different mother. Just put it out there.
Adopted.
How's everybody doing? I hope you had an amazing week, and I hope your weekend thus far has been amazing as well.
Yep. And if you are watching on the replay, I do want to let you know that we add timestamps down to the description. So if you're watching on the replay, feel free to go down to the description and just kind of skip through and look for anything that might matter to you for a question that you are looking for the answer for, because when we do these streams, everything just happens as it happens based on the questions that people ask during the stream. So because of that, we have no idea what it is that we're going to talk about outside of it being all kinds of helpful YouTube information. So because of that, make sure that you check the timestamps for that. And in addition to that, I do want to let you know that this stream is brought to you by TubeBuddy, which is the #1 tool for YouTube content creators that helps you optimize your videos for discovery. TubeBuddy will help you test your thumbnails to make sure the thumbnails that you're making are effective for the people that you're trying to reach. They also have a bunch of workflow related tools in there. For example, let's say you got to update a bunch of video descriptions or something like that. They've even got tools to help you do that sort of thing, where you can do it in a minute instead of spending all day doing it. So they have all kinds of helpful tools that can help you as a content creator. You can try that at tubebuddy.com/Nimmin, so you can see what it can do for you. And of course, you can try it out as well. This stream is co-brought to you by StreamYard, which is the live streaming platform that we use to stream this every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern. The reason that we use StreamYard is because it's super easy. They host everything in the cloud, so if the stream goes down, they've got it covered, and we can just come right back in. It holds everything open so we don't lose the viewers. We can add graphics to the screen. You can add background music if you want to. You can play videos, and they make it really easy to bring guests on, which is what we are thinking is going to happen a little bit later today as well. But you can try that for yourself at StreamYard.com/whatever the affiliate code would be on that, but it's down in the description is where you really want to go for that particular thing. So make sure that you do hit the description if you are going to try that particular one. So with all that stuff out of the way, D, have you had a good week?
Yeah, I had a fantastic week.
Yeah, good. Me too.
Had a fantastic week.
Yeah.
Pretty productive.
Good.
Got some stuff done. New videos being worked on. Uploaded a video about settings that all new YouTubers need to turn on their channel and adjust on their channel.
Nice. So got a link to Dee's channel down in the description if you want to check that out, or you can just go up to the search bar and just put Nick's brother, and it'll probably come up.
That would be something.
That would be, actually.
Nick's brother.
Yeah.
Boom. That's what I should call my channel.
Nick's Brothers.
I should have a channel and just call it Nick's brother and just leave it at that.
So really quick, starting us off right here, Home Rapid Repair. Thanks for the super chat. Says, I'm laser focused on YouTube today. I will not be derailed. Well, hey, speak for yourself, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get derailed several times throughout the day today. But awesome to see that you are focused and ready to rock and roll today and ready to learn. I do encourage everybody to get out your notepads. If you're a Tube Spanner user, of course, you're already familiar with that functionality. So go ahead and get that ready. But everybody else, make sure that you do get a notepad out, because we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. We've already got some questions that are coming in right now. So we are definitely heading in the right direction. So the very first question. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Hang on. Yeah. We're going to derail this right out of the gate.
Okay, hey, let's do it.
It wouldn't be a proper live stream unless we derailed it early on.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, let's do it. What do you got? What do you got, D?
If you were to visualize this live stream, you would be in the engine of the train.
Okay.
Barreling down the track.
Okay.
Probably somewhere in like Arizona.
Okay.
Like in the late
Why Arizona?
1900s.
Why not like going through like the snow somewhere or something like that with like nice pretty scenery?
This isn't Snowpiercer.
Okay.
This is like Tombstone.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking like Snowpiercer.
I know.
And I'm like, there's a bunch of people in the back eating crickets.
No. We're not that kind of train.
Oh, okay. Not I misunderstood.
Yet. We got a couple more years before we get to that sort of train.
Okay.
Desert.
Okay.
Look down the track.
Is this like a bullet train or like a locomotive? Okay. Like an old school. Oh, we're going coal. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
look down the track, and there's a group of hooligans down there removing parts of the track.
Oh, okay.
And you just see
getting dangerous now.
Yeah, and you see them planting some TNT underneath the track.
Okay.
That's the kind of stream this is going to be today.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Ready.
So I just want to say, not happy with the new Star Wars movie.
Okay.
Our new Star Wars show.
Okay, that's a good derail right out of the gate. Get everybody kind of like.
But the bigger question that inspired this entire derailment was someone asked about, what do you think about Mr. Beast's new YouTuber tool?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I haven't tried it yet.
What's it about?
So
Tell me about
it's
it.
on my.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, I've seen it. I don't know much about it either, but it's more of like a competitive analysis tool, and it also helps you like compare thumbnails, and it helps you be inspired by thumbnails that are on outlier videos and stuff like that. It looks pretty cool.
Primarily a thumbnail tool?
No, it's not at all. It's more of like a research tool than anything. And that's just my surface level thing. So I'm going to be digging into it this coming week. But I did see stuff about it, but I'll be digging into it this coming week.
So Imperial Woman, it says, I'm liking the Acolyte.
Yeah, it's called like viewstats.com, I believe is what it is. Yeah, for his tool.
Yeah, I'm not digging it. Not digging the acting in there. Really disappointed they got rid of Carrie Ann Moss within the first 5 minutes. That was a real disappointment.
Did you just do a spoiler for somebody?
It's worth. Don't even watch it.
Oh wow!
What I'm trying to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least you're positive about Star Wars today.
Maybe it'll pick up in episode 3.
Well, I'm wearing a Grogu shirt.
There you go.
Right.
Power nap. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll pick up in the first 2 episodes.
And P.O. Remnant said she'll be back in flashbacks.
Oh,
I don't know.
Is that
good enough? Does that kind of suit it for you?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, like a knife in the chest.
All right.
She's a Jedi. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
Come on. That was just too easy.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Let's
but
answer
based
some
on what you told me.
questions.
Yeah, you ready? You ready?
Hold on. Derailment is officially over.
Okay. All right. That's
Moving
good.
on.
So we're getting off the train. The train has stopped.
No, the rail's blown.
And
we're
okay.
jumping.
So we're like, get out, here it comes.
Right. Get out.
So we're
of the
getting out
way.
like right now.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So the very first question that we have here is from haven't started a channel yet. Okay, this is off to a good start. The link to the channel is not available. How many times per week upload? I don't. I'm getting ready to start my channel. Type of channels, I'm not sure yet. The goal of the channel is make good videos for people. Okay, we're heading in the right direction. And the question is, I'm going to be starting my YouTube channel soon, and I'm not sure what to expect besides try to make a good video. Any suggestions? That's where you got to start, right? So you got to start. If you've never done something like this before, you got to start at that very first thing of like, okay, let's make some videos. But before that, I mean, go ahead and start doing that, right? Because you got to get in motion. And the thing that you need to be doing is you need to be publishing content so that you can learn from that content. You can actually practice the skill of making videos. But also, if you can, try to come up with like a pretty clear goal of what it is that you're trying to do. That goal can be short-term or long-term, but try to give yourself a target of some kind that you want to shoot for. The reason that you do that is because it just helps you stay focused on what you're trying to do. And it also just kind of helps you make decisions along the way, right? So figure out a goal of something that you're trying to accomplish. I don't recommend making it just about views and subscribers. You can have those too, but try to come up with like a idea of like, okay, if everything were to work out for me over this next year, what would I see things looking like? Like how would I want things to be 1 year from now if everything worked out the way that I want it to, and start kind of planning for that trajectory, so to speak. In addition to that, I would also get super clear on who it is that you're trying to reach with your content, because yes, absolutely on YouTube, you can publish whatever content that you want. And as long as some people are coming in and interacting with the content, that might be okay. But if you are wanting to grow the channel quickly, then in that particular case, it's important to know who it is that you're making your content for in terms of who you're targeting with your content, so that as people are interacting with it, when you publish your next video, they can also be a good fit for that next video and the next video after that and the next video after that, which is going to be helpful for getting people to come back to your channel, watch more videos and that sort of thing. It also helps you define like the exact types of videos that you make, which formats of YouTube to use in terms of, am I going to be publishing videos, live stream, shorts? Am I going to be doing it all? So just getting clear on who it is that you're serving, what it is that you're trying to do. And also as part of getting clear of who it is that you're serving, also getting clear on the specific value that you're going to offer to them. But I would just keep all of those things in mind and start working on those things while you go ahead and get in motion making some videos, so that you can practice the skills needed.
Hey Eileen, how you doing?
Hey Eileen, what's going on? Hope you're doing great. Shark Scrapper in the house. Hope you're doing awesome.
Do you hear that noise?
Doug Houston? Yeah, it sounds like something's going on out in the hallway.
I think it's here.
Right next door?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we got a new person over there, and they're going to be like, what is this? What is going on over there? What are they
you
doing?
guys doing over there?
So next up, we've got K-Skis. K-Skis does bi-weekly content. They've been making videos for 1 year or more. The type of channel is anime gaming, anime game challenges, and anime game rants. The goal of the channel is just to make some videos and be consistent. The question is, in your opinion, What is a YouTube feature that is highly overrated, that's honestly useless, and what's an underrated one that you personally think more people should talk about?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a great question. In terms of features that I think are totally useless, I don't think there's any outside of like, tags, because, they still put a lot of emphasis on tags. And, according to YouTube, they still do have some value in terms of like misspellings and things like that. So technically, even those aren't useless. So when it comes to like a useless feature, off the top of my head, I can't really think of any. And in terms of one that I think more people should talk about, that's a good question. What about you, Dee? Do you have any that you think people should talk about? Anything that you think is useless? Like legitimately useless, not just like personally useless.
I think not enough people take advantage of truly maximizing custom playlists to lead the viewer through a journey, a content experience, if that sort of content makes sense on your channel, grouping stuff together. I also think, and you showed me this because I didn't know that it was available, I think a lot of people are not properly curating their For You section. They're just kind of letting everything go in there. Yeah. Like I was originally, and then I turned it off, and he's like, oh, no, you can get rid of your live streams. You can get rid of your shorts. I come across a lot of channels, and it's just packed full of like shorts and live streams or whatever. So if you don't know, and he showed this to me because I didn't even know, the For You section on your homepage, you can choose the type of content that shows up there. If you only want people to see videos, you can only make it videos. If you want to only see shorts, you can do that. If you want only live streams, or you can do some sort of a mix of them. I got rid of the live streams. I got rid of the shorts. It's only videos now. Now YouTube chooses what goes in there. I would like some more control over that.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Like only put this playlist here, or only put top performing videos here, or whatever. Yeah. Sure, I guess.
Yeah, I think you get the option to do recent videos or all videos. You do get that. It is. Yeah, so you do get that. But yeah, like one thing I know, like when I'm pulling up channels of other people that I run into from time to time when I do like channel reviews on the Tube Spanner channel, is that people will be making content about one thing. Yeah. And a bunch of years ago, they made content about other stuff. And when I land on the page, YouTube doesn't really know what to show me there. So it shows me like, hey, here's some of this, here's some of this. Yeah. And it's basically prioritizing content that isn't in alignment with who it is that they're actually trying to reach anymore. So, make sure that you are checking those pages, but keep in mind they are customized for everybody that's landing on it. But the lesson on that is that it's good to, make sure that you are going through your content, making sure that, the videos that are, active on the channel are a good fit for the people that you're trying to reach in the direction that you're trying to move the channel into. That's a great question.
Yeah, useless. I'm useless feature.
Yeah, I mean, everything's got a purpose. So,
everything has a purpose.
So I'm not really sure.
But if I had to say, hey, you can just get rid of one feature, gun to the head, get rid of one feature right now. You've got 30 seconds to decide. Tags, gone. Yeah. Not because YouTube doesn't look at them. It's just that of all the things that you've got going on with your video, that's going to be the least. It's going to be the lowest in terms of what YouTube's looking at. But by all means, I fill it out. I'm going to fill it out until that option is no longer there. Yeah. If YouTube says it's not that, if YouTube says it's not that important, I'm still going to fill them out. But
until they remove it.
Until they remove it.
If they can add as many features as they do, pretty easy to remove features too if they don't matter. Yeah. So Jerry says useless related video on YouTube Shorts. I think that's useless sometimes, but there are channels that do get a decent amount of traffic through that. So I wouldn't say that that's completely useless. Maybe just like at scale, that one's more valuable than than not at scale, I would say.
Jerry says, I'm surprised you didn't say YouTube Shorts. No, I think YouTube Shorts are incredibly useful if you use them the right way. Yeah. I'm a firm believer of, meet your audience where they are. Some of your audience might like live streams. Some of them are going to like long form content. Yeah. Some are going to love longer videos. Yep. Some of them shorter. Some are going to like shorts. Yep. I mean, I wish they would have maybe separated that on a different app, or maybe I wish as a viewer they weren't trying to stuff shorts in like every couple of videos. Here's another short feed. Yeah. But they are. But from a creator perspective, easy views.
So who here has the, just by a show of hands or just say me in the chat, who here has the new YouTube layout?
I haven't.
Yeah, so you don't have that yet?
No.
Yeah, so basically you can go, if you go to youtube.com/new, I think it is, then you'll have the option to turn it on. But basically, with that particular layout, what they've done is they've moved the
I'm trying it out
all
right
the other
now.
suggested videos underneath the video. And then over on the right-hand side, you have like the description and you have comments. So it's really interesting because if you go in the past, if we wanted to get down to a video description, we scroll down and then we click on see more and then it opens the description.
Whoa, I'm looking at it right now.
Now, in order to get into your video description with this particular layout for the people that are using it.
Can I share my screen?
You have to, if you want to, you have to go into the more option. When you click on the more option, it brings up the side panel, and in that side panel you have any remixed shorts that people have made, and then you have the option to download the transcript, and then if you want to, then you have another see more option that you have to hit in order to get into the description. So basically they made the descriptions one click more in order to get people into your video descriptions.
So
it might be something that people get used to, over time. I'm not a huge fan of it, but
check this out. So I just put it up on the screen, and normally, like you said, so you'd have a description that you could expand underneath the live stream.
Yep.
Now there are other videos here.
Yep. Yeah, so if you see over on the right-hand side, you see how you have the top chat or the live stream chat over there?
Yes.
So now you can't even access the video description right now. Right?
How do I get to the description?
You have to close the chat. So close the chat, and then there's the description.
No.
Watch, and then click on more, right? And then you have to click on show more in order to get down into the actual video description.
Oh, YouTube, what are you doing?
Right? Yeah, So here's the thing that I think happened.
Oh my goodness.
And yeah, I don't even know. Oh, okay, you got the chat back up. That's good. Yeah, so the thing that I think happened is they're like, okay, well, people can just hit the descriptions and leave, and then we have all of our other stuff, the recommended shorts and all that, or not recommended shorts, but the remix shorts down on the bottom. So now if people click that panel, it puts those shorts more into view before the description opens, which then will cause some people to go and watch more of those shorts versus clicking into the things that are in the descriptions.
So this looks to me like they are going above and beyond to try to keep people from leaving the platform. Right. Hey, Colin, how you doing? Colin's got a great point. He says, where'd he go?
Right here. Says, pinned comments will be much more useful.
Pinned comments for now.
Yeah. And here's the thing with pinned comments is they don't always stay at the top either. Like they're supposed to, but yeah, like depending on what is being shown, like on a mobile device, for example, like it'll change through comments, right? So unless you actually click into it, then it just is there and rotates through comments instead of having the person's pinned comment stuck in that particular position.
So is this only for live streams or is this on videos?
Oh, it's videos too.
All right, so let me click.
But with videos, it's comments over there, and it's a little bit more user friendly on the video side.
Okay, yeah.
But in terms of getting into the description, you can pull it up if you want. But in terms of getting into the description over there, you still have those extra steps.
I'm not playing the video. It's just a screen.
You can just hit pause on the video.
I know, but it's not us.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, just hit pause. Just make sure it's not playing.
Okay. So let me share this again here. Share screen, and I absolutely love this.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Let me add this up here.
Yeah, John Will says, I saw this and I thought it was a glitch. Nope.
Right.
So, okay, you got it. Yep.
Yeah, so here, and this is what Colin was talking about. So if it's not a live stream, obviously there's no chat over on the right-hand side. So if they put the pinned comment up here, over here, that pinned comment would show up, assuming that your browser is set in a way ratio-wise to do that. I wonder what happens if you collapse that. Where does it go? Oh, it just shrinks the video. Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. So yeah, pretty interesting layout. So with this, we'll probably, depending on, after it's dug into a little bit more, might end up making a video about just kind of like an updated optimization thing and just things to keep in mind on that. Or maybe we'll talk about it in a future live stream. Not sure.
So,
but yeah, it's, as long as it's something that does actually roll out, which I think that it will, then, we are going to have to, kind of figure out how to best use that as creators as well to our advantages.
So yes or no? Do you like that? Yes or no? Do you think that's good or do you think it's bad? I think it's terrible.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what YouTube's doing.
I don't like that.
I know what YouTube's doing, but
I don't like that they. I don't like that they make it difficult to get into the video description.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's not cool.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing. It was not intuitive,
especially after they've already stripped it out of shorts. Right.
It's not intuitive for a lot. I mean, obviously, the first time you do it, you're going to go, okay, I get it. But there's nothing on there. If this is your first time looking at a live stream, it's not intuitive to close the chat in order to see the description.
Right. So on the creator side, right, since we're creators here, like if you are trying to get people into your video description, then maybe letting them know that, hey, if you don't see the description, make sure you hit the X if you're on a computer.
Terrible.
Yeah, so it's just, a little extra explaining. So Renee is in here. Renee says that, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing great. Says, it's one of the several experiments the watch page team are testing. We get feedback. People don't like losing the video when they go to look at comments or descriptions. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so on the viewer side, basically they're doing it for the viewer there to make it to where they don't have to scroll the video out of view, so they can keep watching the video while still doing whatever interactions they're going to do in the descriptions or comments. So
yeah, YouTube has a difficult balance, I think.
Right, creators on this side, viewers on this side, and everybody fighting at YouTube.
Yeah, here's the thing. YouTube optimizes everything for the viewer.
Yeah.
Okay. And essentially the algorithm is the audience, right? Just in a nutshell. At the same time, YouTube does not exist without creators.
Right.
So they have to they have to figure out what that balance is between the audience and creators. And when you start doing things like, oh, we're going to remove links out of shorts for everyone's protection, and it's just like one extra click to get to the thing.
Right.
Like, not buying with all this stuff. Here's the crazy thing. There was actually a meeting about that, about this right here.
Sure.
They had a meeting, and they probably, somebody sat down and gave them all these different layouts, and they actually a group of people came to the conclusion.
Well, I'm sure they test this stuff against viewers too.
On a live stream, it's terrible.
Oh, on a live, but I mean, in terms of viewers, though, I'm sure they, have test groups and all that stuff with this stuff. I would assume.
Hey, Heidi.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about
They're
video.
not like, hey, let's just go ask Nick and D, right? They're like, hey, let's test this against a bunch of users and see how they like it.
They didn't ask you? No. Okay. For the video, it's not that bad for the video. The description comes right up to the side, the pinned comments, right?
Yeah.
But for a live stream,
they're only, the fact that you have to close it down in order to get into it. Yeah.
They're only so like, what can we do with that? What can we do with the description? I don't know. Let's hide it under the chat,
right?
And not tell them that they need to close the chat in order to see it. That's what I'm coming after.
TXT watching over on Twitter. What's going on? Hope that you are doing awesome. Also in CNX. Good.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of works on a video though.
Yeah, it does.
It's just kind of dumb.
It definitely does. The only thing I don't like about it is that extra click into the description.
Yeah.
Right? Because
show more thing.
Yeah, because it's like, like getting them to click into one and open it up in the first place is one step.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of distraction that can happen between, that first step and the second step to get into the description again to look at more stuff.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I don't care for.
Yeah.
But if viewers are liking it, then we just have to, figure out how to work within it. It is weird.
Close the live stream.
I remember
the description.
I remember when they updated the channel pages of YouTube, which it's all normal to us now. But I remember when they did that, and it was like chaos.
Yeah.
Like on the internet, everybody's like, "Oh my God, what are they doing to channel pages?" and blah blah. It was like a big ordeal at that time too. So yeah, when things like this happen, just all of us as creators, like if you're using this layout, or not right now, if you do get it, we just have to look at it if we like it or not. As like, hey, this is where our viewers are going to be watching our stuff. So because of that, how can we utilize this new layout when we're directing people to things, or just keeping things in mind in terms of maybe links above, that extra see more or something like that, in order to make sure that we're at least optimizing for that priority link and those sorts of things.
Moving on. We've dunked on YouTube. No, or have we?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so at all.
We need to keep dunking? That's what I'm saying. I was going to say we've dunked on them enough. But now that Renee's in here taking notes, maybe we could dunk a little bit more. Is there anything else?
And he says old studio to new studio. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, so anytime, things. And he says, please do send in feedback. But yeah, like when changes are made, then, our only option is to, figure out how to utilize it.
Yeah. No, actually, my only feedback on that is for the live streams. Live streams specifically, just because it's not intuitive to close the chat. That's really it.
Nope.
Then there's no indication you got to close. I was looking. Yeah. If you didn't tell me you got to close the chat, I would have made a fool of myself in front of 200 plus people trying to. Where's the chat? Where's the description?
Right.
You could
instead of talking about Snowpiercer.
Right. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about Snowpiercer.
So World of KRS is our next question. They've been on YouTube for less than 6 months. They do art, rants, and challenges. The goal of the channel is to have fun. And the question is, do you believe that shorts present a false narrative to smaller creators? If yes, then how would you improve shorts in your opinion? I don't know. So I think that creators create a false narrative for creators, or for new creators. Basically,
false narrative.
Yeah, by basically, creating this like magical picture about like, hey, just upload stuff that, that you care about, and you can upload anything that you want and all that stuff, and nothing matters. And as long as you're uploading things that you're passionate about and you enjoy making videos, then everything's going to be great, right? That flowery, like, hey, just do whatever you want. There's no real work involved with this. Just be creative and everything's going to work out. That's the narrative I think that a lot of new content creators share with a lot of new content creators. In some cases it does, work out that way. But in most cases, you got to, put some thought into what it is that you're doing. You got to, think about, hey, if we're going to be making this, is this going to be a good fit for the people that are interacting with my content and things like that. So, because of that, I think that is definitely like an adjustment that needs to be made just as, in the collective mind of content creators. But in terms of shorts presenting a false narrative, I don't think so. I think one of the cool things about YouTube Shorts is, even though, like you have to get crushed with views in order to like, monetize them well through ads. Yeah. I think one of the really cool things about shorts is for new content creators, when you publish a long form video, like there's a lot of moving parts that go into that. But when you publish a short, I mean, you still got to make a video, and the title's also still important. But at the end of the day, if you can just grab somebody's attention and just get them to watch for, a little bit and enjoy that content, then you're getting the opportunity to really practice that video side. So you only have to really rely and build on that one skill, maybe two if you factor in the title, but you have to really focus on that particular skill, and it gives you that focus, while you're just focused on shorts. And I think that also when you do see those views coming in, even if they are like impression type views, when you do see that coming in and you're a new content creator, I think it's inspiring, because if you publish a long form video and you get 10 views on it, you might think to yourself, depending on the, on the individual, they might say like, holy cow, this is amazing. I had 10 people watch this. Yeah. Or you might go like, oh my God, I was expecting like X and I just got 10, right? And because of that, it can be really discouraging, to a lot of people. So I think that just having the video show up in front of people and just seeing numbers on the screen, like, oh, hey, I got, 100 views on this or whatever the thing is, I think that it's just encouraging. And it probably, I don't know this, but I would guess that by itself would probably be enough to keep a lot of people going versus, man, every video I publish, I'm getting like, 10 to 15 views on this versus, hey, I'm publishing this short and I'm starting to get these feelings like I'm doing everything right because I'm getting, a few hundred views a video, right? So I think that because of that, I think it's great on the encouragement side to just kind of keep people going and keep people inspired to keep making content, because there's going to be some people that if they didn't make shorts, they would have tried YouTube and they would have just ended up leaving because they didn't get that response on the horizontal side. But because they did do shorts and they did get some of that activity and encourage them, they kept going, kept developing the skills, and some of those people will end up being very successful content creators long term. So all the way around, I think it's I think it's more helpful to creators than being a false narrative.
Yeah, I think another thing that's for creators...
And you don't have to use them either, which is another bonus.
Yeah, you don't have to use them, but I think another bonus for creators who are making shorts is it's incredibly easy to upload that to Reels, to upload that to TikTok, to upload that to those platforms, short-form content. Yep. I mean, they upload really quick. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about thumbnails. It just...
You can even upload them on mobile data. Doesn't matter because they're short files.
Right. Yeah. And I don't mean this as a slight towards anyone making shorts, because I think there's huge opportunity there. Mm-hmm. But I do refer to a lot of them as just low effort content. Yeah. Right. Because it doesn't take that much for the average person to make a short. Right. There are some people making some pretty ridiculous shorts.
Yeah, there are.
But the average person, it's pretty low effort content, and you can just quickly upload that anywhere, and you don't know where you're going to find your audience. Right. Like you might struggle on YouTube, but blow up on Instagram. Yep. On Instagram Reels. You just never know.
Yep. So Learn Spanish World is our next question here. They upload one time per week or more. They do educational content. The goal of the channel is to provide value to my community at the same time as I start exploring the possibility of becoming a full-time creator. The question is, how do you recommend handling negative comments and feedback on a larger scale? So there's a few different ways to handle this. So this is going to come down first. I just want to say this comes down to personal opinion on how you want to approach things. But for some people, they want to take away anything to where people are making attacks on their appearance or the way they say things, or, you know, those sorts of things where it's like personal attacks. In that particular case, in our YouTube settings, we have something called a blocked words list.
I made a whole video about it.
Yeah, my brother has a whole video about it. You can check that on his channel. But the idea is you use that blocked words list to put in words or phrases that people commonly say that you don't like on your YouTube channel.
Like looped it.
Mm-hmm. And when you put that in there, if somebody says it, then it automatically gets hidden from public view. And then the only way that you're going to see that is if you actually go into that area of your comment management inside of your Creator Studio. So it just gives you a really great way to be able to manage comments in like an automated way. But the downside of that is that you have to go through the process of either filling out that box with things that you think people are going to say, or just as somebody says things, you grab it and then you put it in there. Another suggestion that comes up here from Demon Dro. What's going on, dude? Hope you're doing great. They recommend hiding the user from the channel as well.
Yes.
So if people are coming in there and they're saying things that are inappropriate or something like that, then in that particular case, over on the right-hand side, you can do this on a mobile device or you can do it on a computer. You're going to see a little 3-dot menu. What's that called, D?
Ellipsis.
Ellipsis menu. Yeah. You click on that, and then you're going to see the option to hide user from channel. And then with a combination of both of those things, you should be good on massively reducing the amount of bad comments that you're getting in terms of personal attacks. Now, outside of that, some people think that when you're using your blocked words list that it's like an attack on, free speech or whatever, which, isn't the case. But some people will put things in their comments to where like, hey, if somebody disagrees with me, I'm just going to put it down in the comments. I'm not a huge fan of that personally. Do what you want. Like, it doesn't matter to me, what you do in that regard. But when it comes to me, like if somebody wants to disagree, like I don't care about that. What I care about is if they're attacking other people in the comments, if they're spamming the comments, or if they're attacking me in some way in the comments or somebody else that I had on the video or something like that. That's where it matters to me.
Yeah, treat your channel however you want. Mm-hmm. It's though YouTube owns the property, your house is built on that property, right. And if you want to tell people to get off your lawn, you are free to do so. Mm-hmm. I handle my comments like this. I try to keep them brand friendly and family friendly.
Yep.
And people are free to correct me. They're free to disagree with me. What they are not free to do is disrespect anyone else leaving comments or be rude or disrespectful to me. Mm-hmm. I have a line, and they're also not allowed to spam.
Yeah.
If they come in there spamming stuff. Oh, and another thing, I don't allow people to take the conversation somewhere else that is unrelated to the video. Like, I don't want a political shootout in a comment section on how to make a thumbnail. It doesn't belong there. Take that somewhere else. My lawn, get off it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
And if you don't like it, unsubscribe from my channel. I really don't care.
Right.
Like, that's not what it, that's not what my comments are for.
Right.
Unsubscribe, subscribe, don't care.
Yep. So next up, we got Learn Spanish World in the house. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing great. Uploads one time per week or more. They do educational content. Goal of the channel is to provide value to my community at the same time as I start exploring the possibility of becoming a full-time creator. Oh, we just did that one. Okay, so next up on our list.
Way to go, man.
Yep. We've got John Willis.
The mods are working overtime today.
Yeah, I know, right?
Holy cow.
John Willis, they upload one time per week or more. They do filmmaking, tech reviews, and YouTube education. The goal of the channel is to make YouTube my full-time business. Quit the 9 to 5 halfway there, and one day be speaking at Vid Summit and other events.
Awesome.
And awesome. Yep, awesome. Looking forward to seeing you at Vid Summit. And the question is, love your content, Nick. So much free value. Just wanted to say how awesome it is. My question is this. We know the content creation industry is blowing up with more and more young people wanting to be creators. I think it's like 1 in 5 in the USA. We know it's difficult but achievable to make a 6-figure YouTube business, but do you think there will come a point in the future where it becomes unsustainable and oversaturated with things like our core infrastructure is struggling because less people want to take working class jobs? What are your thoughts on this, and where do you think content creation will be in 10 years? So I have no idea in terms of where content creation is going to be in 10 years. But when it comes to the near future, I think that, I think the bigger threat when it comes to like filmmaking and like YouTube, advice, like YouTube education, that kind of thing, is that like tech reviews, you'll still have the personal opinions of tech reviews. But when it comes to filmmaking, you might be able to just load some of that stuff into AI. I'm not sure, but you might be able to load some of that stuff into AI in the future, and then AI be like, oh, hey, looks like your color's off here. It would probably look a little bit better here. Let me make some, examples for you, right? To where we might have, like real AI assistants like that to kind of help us with those sorts of things where people don't need the videos as much. In addition to that, I think YouTube education is also kind of along those lines as well. I'm not sure how much that it can get into the weeds. I'm going to guess a lot over time, but like right now, if you put information into ChatGPT, you have to be really good at narrowing down exactly what you are thinking and instructing it in the right way for it to give you actionable, like really good, information. Because if you just put real general stuff in there right now, it kind of gives you really general answers and it's not very helpful. So because of that, we're still helpful. But I think that once we get to the point to where it can, like analyze. And there's already some tools that, partially do this, like Creative Fuel, for example, where with that, it's a browser plugin to where it basically looks at your channel and all the information on your channel, and it gives you recommendations based on things that are going on, on your channel. So that's pretty cool. In addition to that, I think that in the very near future, that we will probably be able to directly interlink them, or, just share the link to the channel or whatever and have it go through and just kind of give us recommendations on things that we can do better. In terms of if those things will be legitimate or not, I'm not sure, because, the people will also ultimately decide that are watching the videos. But I think that when it comes to the content creation thing, I think we're good to go on that for quite some time. And I think 10 years into the future, I think people will still be making content. I think a lot of it will be AI supported. So like, for example, right now, if I want a B-roll video of a helicopter flying over New York, then in that particular case, I need to hop on different stock photo sites and try to find that particular, piece of footage. Whereas, using like Runway ML or something like that, I could just type it in and say exactly what it is I'm looking for, and then it will give it to me. So, as Sora comes out and some other, things like China just dropped one that's going to be a heavy competitor for Sora. As those types of things come out to where we can leverage that for B-roll as creators that are, sharing ourselves, then I think that's going to be helpful. But I also think that it's going to open up a huge opportunity for people that are really good storytellers, for people that would love to make content, but they're just, they don't want to put themselves on camera for whatever reason. I think it's going to open up a huge industry just around that by itself for really good storytellers. And I think it's going to take like the movie industry to an extent. I think it's going to take the movie industry and have like a segment of it that is just really high quality stuff that people make at home that they put out on the internet. So because of that, I think that, there's still going to be a place for, what most people do. And I think that the creator economy is going to continue to flourish because of that. In addition to that, as things do get harder, which is one of the things that you were talking about in terms of the core infrastructure and all that, as things get harder, I think that people will also come onto platforms like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and anything else and try being a content creator, because you already see on, the news and stuff and just watching other YouTube videos and things like that. You already see people talking about like, hey, I'm able to make a living on YouTube. This is how much I earn from YouTube and that sort of thing. And when people run into that content and they're like, wait a minute, I'm going and I'm working at this job, for somebody a job that I don't like to do with somebody that I don't really care for. And I'm having to put myself through that. And then there's this person uploading videos to YouTube and they're making like 4 times what I'm making at my job and they're just getting started. Let me give this a shot, on the side. So I think you're also going to have a lot of that where people are going to be looking at it as a possible solution to be able to offset some of the loss they might take somewhere else as things are getting more expensive and stuff. What are your thoughts, C?
I didn't listen to a word you were saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll move on to the next one.
I was deleting spam bots.
Oh, okay.
Over here.
Yeah, they were in here just like, everybody's like gladiators on those.
I'm deleting them and I'm deleting from the channel and hiding their comments over here.
Oh, okay.
All I hear is wah, 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 and I'm like, delete.
Yeah, so Imperial Remnant says, I've heard Premiere Pro is building in AI B-roll. Yeah, so Premiere Pro is doing that. Opus Clip already has it.
You could have told me the question.
Huh? Oh, it's all right. We can move on. Not a big deal.
But, I want another question.
But yeah, Opus Clip already has AI B-roll as part of their thing, so it's just a feature that you turn on. And a lot of times, like, because they're still fine tuning it, you know, so like a lot of times you'll be like, that's not good. I need to make another one or whatever. But sometimes it nails it, so it's getting more and more where it nails it more and more. But you know, it still has a ways to go.
What was the question?
They're already working on that too.
What was the question?
Oh, I was just replying to a comment.
I know, but
that wasn't a question.
It was something about AI.
So next up, we've got Playing the Mom Game.
Really insightful to add.
We're just talking about the future. That's all it was. Playing the Mom Game.
It's dark.
Is next.
It's really dark.
I
hope you're prepping.
She uploads.
I hope you're prepping and you've got enough to at least provide for you and your family for 6 months. I'm talking water.
Brian Schulman, what's going on? Over on LinkedIn. Nice to see you in here. So Playing the Mom Game, she does fashion over 40 content. The goal of the channel is to meet a monthly income goal. And the question is, so this was for Derral. So I think that Derral is going to be joining us here a little bit later in the stream.
Can't wait.
Yep. I was thinking that it was going to be earlier, but I think it might be later. So we're going to see how it goes. If not, then I just used him in the thumbnail to, you know, get everybody in here.
If you want me to coordinate the guests,
right?
You let me know in advance.
Right.
I'll handle the guest.
Yeah.
So,
so we'll see. But yeah, he's supposed to. Hey, Andrew Cam, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing great. But yeah, like, he's supposed to. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and do this one. So you say that you loosely call your channel a fashion channel, but instead of telling women what styles are in and what to wear, I'm just a 40-year-old woman trying to figure out what to wear myself and creating content based on that as I go. My most popular videos and my favorites to make are try-on hauls where I just try a bunch of stuff on and I comment about them and my audience finds it helpful and entertaining. It's great, but it doesn't necessarily feel sustainable long-term unless I add a few other types of content. Based on this very high-level info, are you able to suggest other types of content to experiment with for an audience of mostly in their 50s and 60s? Like, yeah. So one thing that you could do, and you know, Dee, feel free to hop in on this too, but one thing that you could do
now you want my opinion
is you could talk about just like, you know, some of the things that you said that you don't do, you could do those as well. So, you know, just talking about fashion trends for, you know, people of certain ages and that sort of thing.
Fashion trends over 40.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically you mix in your try-on hauls with, you know, with tips on, you know, ways that you believe that, you know, I guess people should be presenting themselves in those age brackets. I think that would be a good place to start, or at least something to experiment with. Like one of the things when it comes to YouTube is, especially if you're like, okay, I'm reaching people that are, you know, 40 plus, then in that particular case, you already know, you know, loosely who it is that you're reaching. And then now that you know that it's something fashion related, now you can start experimenting and saying, okay, like, you know, what are some other things that channels like mine are also doing that people are responding to well? And let me see if I do any of those, if people respond to mine as well. And you just start experimenting with those, experimenting with any new ideas that you come up with. And that experimentation is how you find your way in terms of things that you're going to come up with that nobody else is doing, that you can use to stand out. And you can also leverage stuff that is already proven to work, that people are already proven to be interested in, that you can also benefit from as well.
Yeah, and I don't know your unique situation. If you're 40 years old, you have 40 years of life experience of things that you can probably talk about. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, you know, you're going to have to do some soul searching to figure out what is it about you specifically, things that you've been through, experiences that you've had that you might be able to share with your audience as well, and test that out. You know, like for example, if you're a single mother, there's a whole lot of information you could use that you could put on a channel to help other single mothers who might be just starting out in their journey.
This is about fashion specifically.
As one example. Well, no, I'm just saying, like, what else? Yeah. I was just using that as an example. Mm.
Next up, we got Trying to Learn Bikes. Trying to Learn Bikes. They upload one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. They do motorcycle maintenance content. The goal of the channel is to help demystify the world of motorcycle maintenance. The question is, I recently created a detailed 20-minute tutorial. I've also created a condensed short form, the same video that shows all the same steps and information in under a minute. I'm thinking of posting the short 1 week after the long form. Is there a better upload timing strategy that I can consider for these two videos? I would do both of them are going to be going into like different places. So, you know, you don't have to let it, you know, wait that long, but I would do the long one first so that you can have that one with a lot more detail in it. And then when you do upload the short, just have that as the related video there. Maybe even mention in that short that you do have that that longer video for details on the channel. So then that way they can get the meat of the content. But if they want to deep dive on it, then they can go over to the actual channel itself. So I would definitely publish the long form first so that you can link to it through the short. But in terms of the timing, maybe let the first video breathe for a day and then publish it after that. Or if you want to wait a week just for your current upload cadence, then you can do that too. But in that particular case, I don't think that they're going to necessarily step on each other, just because they are going to primarily go into different places.
That's just Tara says, I'm 42, so I have a lot to say here too, and a single mom. See?
Yep.
They're out there.
Yep. Of course.
They're out there.
Just Book Girl TV uploads when they have time. Been on YouTube for a year or more. They do a BookTube channel. The goal of the channel is I love talking about books. And the question is, I've been doing this for 5 years. I recently reached 543 subscribers. When should I start looking at sponsors? So I would definitely, technically you can look at any time. But the first thing that I would do is I would definitely try to get the view counts up a little bit. Because like I see here, like I'm looking at the channel. And I see, like, for example, like the last video has like 40 views, the one before that 41 views. So I would definitely try to work on those sorts of things first and get it to where you're getting just a higher average view count with the videos themselves. Because one thing that you have to think about when it comes to sponsors is they do want their message showing up in front of, some, like a decent amount of people. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just showing in front of a decent amount of people. So one thing that I would do in your particular case right now is I would try to find something that you could promote as an affiliate versus going after a sponsor. So then that way you can just kind of test things and you can figure out if people will take your recommendations, click links, that sort of thing. And then if you do find like, hey, I am generating sales with the view counts that I'm getting, then when you do start reaching out to sponsors, you have that information that you can share with them to prove that with the activity that you're getting, that you can produce, X amount of sales from that, so that you at least have like a proof of concept that you can present them with, so to speak. So I would do those things. I would do those things first.
Heidi, congratulations on your first sponsor.
Oh, nice. Congratulations, Heidi.
And by the way, if you have questions and you're in the chat right now and you just joined us late, there is a link down in the description. Or if you have YouTube's new layout, the description would be on the side.
You got to walk down the street. Yeah.
It will be on the side of the screen underneath the chat. You have to close the chat. Then you have to expand the description and then go in there and you will find a link to a form. Go ahead and drop your question in the form. It is first come, first serve, and we do try to get through as many of them as possible.
Indeed, we do.
Sometimes we get through them all, sometimes we don't. And every now and then we just randomly grab something out of the chat while Nick is hydrating or eating something.
English Woodsman, they upload one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. They do outdoor camping content. The goal of the channel is to hopefully hit the big 100K. Question is, hey, brothers from the same mother.
Hey.
Ben, hey, what's up? Been camping channel for 6+ years now, camped in all different weather. I think I mix my viewers up now because sometimes I do review videos and outdoor cooking videos. So different kind of followers, but now my videos are getting less views. Please help. So if they're all outdoor camping videos, then in that case, there might be overlap there. But if you're doing, something like if your review videos are completely unrelated to anything outdoors, then in that case, you might be, bringing in, the wrong people, so to speak, into that content if you are trying to grow an audience of outdoor enthusiasts. So because of that, like, first, let me back up a minute. So when it comes to
on up.
Yeah, so you got like 86,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. So the very first thing is because you have a history on your channel, and you said that your views are low right now. So one thing that I do recommend that you do is that you do go in and start comparing the performance of some of your recent videos against some of the ones previously that were doing better consistently, and definitely keep the topics in mind. But I'm looking at the channel right now and I see that the reviews that you're doing, it does seem like these are all outdoor related reviews. So I think that you're okay there. And also here you have camping in a haunted woodland for charity. It happened again. This one's got 59,000 views on it, and then it looks like some of your reviews are relatively low in comparison. To continue camping regularly.
Can I just tell you while you're looking at that my first obsession for YouTube videos was van life. Just obsessed with van life, and I still watch van life content. I think it's fantastic, especially if people who are building their own vans and they're modifying their own vans and they're in unique locations. I'll watch that stuff. There's some channels that I like. My second obsession is camping channels and people who silently go out and they set up their mics and they put their tent together, they chop some firewood, they build a fire, they cook over the fire without saying a word. And they film themselves walking through, and you hear the crunches of the, oh my goodness, like that's slowly coming up, and that's going to surpass my van life obsession.
Nice.
And I fantasize. Let me tell you what I fantasize about.
Let's hear it.
I fantasize. I watch that late night. 4 o'clock in the morning, I should be sleeping. I'm laying there, and I'm laying there in the sofa because I've been kicked out of the bed because I first fell asleep at 10 and I was snoring, so she kicked me out. Now I'm on the sofa, laying on my side, looking at the screen. Dopamine coming in, full on dopamine. And I'm watching.
You're like, I'm not going to sleep anytime soon.
I'm going to be up until the sun comes up. I'm watching this guy trek through the snow, and the snowshoes are crunching on the snow. And I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, I just want to give it all up and do this.
Oh, nice.
That's all I want to do.
Nice.
I just want to just change everything. Grab a tent,
and just hit
snowshoes and a backpack. Wake the old lady up. And say, we're hitting the road.
That's
grab
funny.
your passport. We're going camping in the snow.
Nice.
And we're starting a new YouTube channel.
Nice.
I fantasize about that like 5 nights a week.
Scene fades to you being out there, and in snowshoes in the cold in the middle of the snow, and you're like, oh my God, this is a horrible idea. Why did I do this?
Video number 1. 30 seconds in, I've made a terrible mistake.
You look at her. Why'd you let me do this? Why'd you agree to this?
Who let me do this? Woman, why did you agree to this? Why did you steal my passport?
Oh, man. But a couple things to think about, like when it comes to, just to kind of bring it back to the camping channel here for English Woodsman. So just a few things to think about, like when it comes to the videos that you're publishing on the channel, right? Like you like if you find that people are responding better to the camping content, and that gets you like more views and subscribers and like on platform revenue, then in that particular case, knowing that allows you to be able to use that content strategically. And then on the flip side of that, if you do find that you are able to generate more revenue from the reviews that you're doing in comparison, even though the other content might get more views, if your thing on this is like, I want to add value to people, but I also want to generate revenue from it, then in that particular case, leaning more on the review side of things, even though the views aren't as high, might be the move there, while you're trying to figure out, okay, how can I get those views higher, right? How can I make these reviews a little bit better? How can I keep people watching these reviews for a little bit longer and just create a better experience for people in these reviews? So like in your particular case, I would just make sure that you are clear, which I'm sure you probably already are. But I would just make sure that you're clear on what it is that you're, trying to do with the channel, because, like I know, personally, I know that like, when views go down a bit, that you can have that thing to where you're like, oh man, the views aren't exactly where I would like them to be. But on the flip side of that, if you're like, but everything's still doing its job the way that I, want it to, then in that particular case, it's not really, that big of a deal. So like, I would just get really clear on what it is that you're trying to do. And if you're like, hey, I do want to, just the views and just blow this channel, out of the water, then in that case, I would lean more on the things that, people are responding to best, which in this case might be the, the actual camping. And then for the review stuff, maybe just kind of put that in from time to time, because it looks like you're focusing more on that. And then you're putting in, the regular camping content outside of that. And one thing that I noticed too, just as a quick thing for like your titles, like some of your videos that are doing better, you're kind of opening loops a bit, like in your thumbnail. It's like, what do you think about this, right, in the thumbnail? And it says it's the only option I have left to continue camping regularly, which basically poses a really big question, right? Like, oh, well, what's going on? What's going on there? Same exact thing here. Camping in a haunted woodland for charity. It happened again, and it's like, oh, what happened, right? So it seems like some of the videos that are doing better, they are, they are creating that curiosity gap from the outside. So maybe trying to leverage some of that when you're doing the reviews as well to, kind of pull people in. And another thing that you can do too, and I'm just kind of brainstorming with you on this just for ideas, but another thing that you might be able to do as well is like, if you know that the camping content is the thing that brings people in, but then you know that you need to do some, affiliate marketing or sponsor, deals, for the revenue side, then in that particular case, working some of that stuff into the camping content might also, be a good fit for what it is that you're doing doing or something to consider. To where it's like, hey, I'm going camping. I'm going to share that particular, trip, or I'm going to make a bunch of footage while I'm there and put together these different stories around it. But then for some of them, I'm going to work in some of these reviews as part of the camping experience, so that I can introduce it to people, where I am getting those higher view counts. So just one more thing before I move on with this is when you are doing things like that, it's also important to make sure that you are thinking about like the intent of the viewer. Like if you are trying to drive revenue, then in that particular case, if somebody's watching a video and they're expecting to just watch your camping experience, and they could be watching that for entertainment, they might not even be interested in camping themselves, right? So because of that, the intent wouldn't be, pun intended, I guess, the intent wouldn't be as high there for them to purchase a product, because they're coming into that to experience the content, not buy something. So when it comes to the review video, it's a little bit different, because even though the intent is different there in terms of like, oh, well, I'm trying to figure out if this thing is a good fit for me or not, there the people are going to be more likely to buy because they're actually clicking into a review, understanding that it's a review, right? So so just keeping those types of things in mind when you're putting together your strategy for when, for the content that you're publishing, when you're publishing it, and why you're publishing it. I would definitely just kind of keep those things in mind.
Another great channel about camping. He doesn't do the ASMR style camping. Mm-hmm. His name is Steve Wallace, and he does what's called stealth camping.
What's that?
It's like hidden camping.
Okay. Like hiding in bushes?
Like camping in an airport parking lot in the back of his car without being noticed.
It sounds like you're sleeping in your car. That doesn't sound like camping.
No. Or just kind of, he'll camp like, in just like a little area of woods right next to like a busy highway, or right next to like it is kind of creepy now I think about it.
Yeah.
It's like, is that Steve Wallace out there in the backyard? Honey?
Yeah.
Steve, what are you doing back there, buddy? Yeah, in the middle of a roundabout, like under a bridge. Now that I think about it, it's called stealth camping.
Yeah, Frankie over 50 says Steve is the man. So yeah, I guess
man,
another viewer
fantastic. In here. Absolutely, but it is kind of when you try to
put
explain
it, way,
what's stealth
when
camping?
It's said out loud.
That's like sleeping in a parking lot in your car. So he's homeless. No. I mean, he sleeps under a bridge.
All right. All right.
Get out in the bushes, Steve.
All right.
I see you.
I see you over there. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are.
No, Steve. No, amazing channel. Yeah, he's really entertaining too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, share that with me later.
Yeah.
So King CMC TV uploads one time per week or more gaming content. The goal is to get monetized. The question is, can you make a t-shirt design in Shopify, and does it cost to set up an account? So having a Shopify store, they do have free trials. I'm not sure if they have like free accounts. Some things have free accounts to like a certain limit. No, they don't? Okay.
No. You have a free, I think it's like a free month or a free 2 weeks or something.
Okay.
And then you have to pay.
Yeah, so you got free trial, and then like that's it. So because of that, one thing you might want to think about if you're just like trying to figure out how the whole thing works is like go in, don't connect anything, have one email account, create that account, go in there, figure out how the system works, all that stuff, maybe set up some dummy stuff just so you can get an understanding of how it works, how the themes work and all of that, then create like a real one, and that's the one that you connect your YouTube channel to, and you build out based on the knowledge from that first trial.
Yeah, Shopify is generally pretty inexpensive until you start adding plugins. Once you start adding custom plugins that can do various things, that's when it starts to add up really fast.
Jess Book Girl TV uploads when they have time. Been on YouTube for a year or more. It's a BookTube channel. That's like 2 in the first what are we at here? First 11 questions.
Go BookTube channels.
Yep. BookTube channels represent. And if you have a BookTube channel, just say me. Hey, what's up, Ash? Nice to see you in here, man. Mm-hmm. But the goal of the channel says I love talking about books. Oh, we talked about this one already. Oops, sorry.
Did they?
Yeah, I think that went there twice, or I just didn't advance it. Maybe. So her heel review is the next question that we have here. Publishes one time per week or more. Does TV and movie reviews. The goal of the channel is to share experiences and build community. And the question is, what keeps you engaged when watching movie reviews, or do you prefer more breakdown explanation videos? I'm going to pass this one to D, because D watches a lot more movie reviews than I do. For me, I like to go to the movie theater and be completely surprised.
What's the question?
So I'll watch trailers, but I don't look on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't watch any movie reviews or anything like that. I just go into it like trying to keep my expectations under control. So because of that, I don't watch reviews. So what keeps you engaged? They have a movie review channel.
Okay.
What keeps you engaged when watching movie reviews, or do you prefer to watch more breakdowns and explanation videos?
Okay.
And in the chat too, like, if you're watching this, give this feedback in the chat in terms of if you are somebody that watches movie reviews, then, also give your feedback, because this might be helpful for them.
I'm not a fan of movie review. Well, I like to get breakdowns after the fact. I don't want to get potential spoilers before I go see the movie.
Okay.
My girlfriend loves to look at IMDb database for reviews, loves to look at Rotten Tomatoes. Like, hey, babe, what are we going to watch? And I'll recommend a movie. And she'll say, oh, that's terrible. I'm like, I don't care. Just watch it. And let us decide if it's terrible or not. Because sometimes the reviews are wrong based on what we like. Sometimes the reviews are really high. For example, what was the movie called? Moonlight. I think it was one of the highest rated movies. And we were like, this is terrible.
What is Moonlight?
It was just a movie.
What's it about? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I think it won all kinds of awards. It was very highly rated. We absolutely hated that movie. Anyway, so we don't like what she looks at reviews. I don't like to watch videos of reviews, but I love breakdowns. I've been watching, I don't know how many of you have been watched the Shogun series. Did you get around to watching Shogun?
Not yet.
Oh my goodness, fantastic. I have been addicted to watching various breakdowns after I completed the whole season, and watching breakdowns about what this meant in this episode, why they did this, or historical references, like what is this character actually based on, and they kind of get into the history of what that was. Fascinating stuff. So I love breakdowns after the fact. I don't want spoilers before you go in. Yeah, so that's me.
All right. So yeah, it looks like Ash Borland says loves a breakdown channel. Says just like the views aren't adding up even when I've tried everything. It seems at one point, oh, that's something else. Let's see how I read movie posters before watching something, or movie spoilers before watching something.
I can't do that.
Doug Houston says breakdowns. Resin Dragon does not like spoilers at all. I like ending explanation videos from Mary and Chris.
Yes.
Yeah. So good feedback there. Yeah. Nice.
Jazz and laughter. Moonlight is a brilliant movie. I mean,
what's it about? I haven't seen it.
It's too much to even get into.
Okay,
but it just, we just didn't like it.
All right.
We didn't like it. I can see how some people could like it. We just didn't like. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's not a bad movie. It's just that based on the review, like the reviews were just incredibly high.
Oh, okay.
So our expectations,
just kind of set a false expectation.
Our expectations, we came in like, oh, this is going to be amazing, and we just did not like it at all. And it was because you set that expectation with those reviews. You come in and you don't like it, and then it's like, well, what else are they wrong about?
Right. Heidi Costume CEO, thank you for the super chat. Super appreciate it. Says, hey fellas, a bit of money towards your coffee and M&M budget. Thank you.
Heidi also likes breakdown videos. Yeah, I'm upset. Yeah, me too. If there's something that has, some people really dig in deep. Really dig in deep to movies and series, and they make you think about things that you never picked up on. I've told you about this.
Yeah, you tell me about a lot of this stuff. Yeah, and I'm like, oh wow, I never thought about that. And you're like, oh yeah.
There's some incredible off the top of my head. I can't name one, but I've subscribed to a ton of them. Well, they do like a breakdown of Interstellar, and here's all the things in Interstellar that you missed, and you're watching, and you're like, holy cow, I'm an idiot. And then I've probably watched that movie 25 or 30 times, but because of those breakdown channels, each time I watch it, I'm picking up something new that they talked about, and it makes me appreciate it even more. I'm like, wow, that was masterfully done.
Got it.
That was so well thought out. So breakdowns all the way.
And on that note, I do want to mention.
Was that the end?
I do want to mention that we have a special guest today who works with some of the most successful content creators on the platform. He's the founder of Vid Summit, which is the conference for content creators that's happening this September 3rd through the 4th in Dallas, Texas. He's the best-selling author of the book called YouTube Formula. You can find that on Amazon. You can find it on all of the different places, even in bookstores. He has a 12-week mentoring program called ChannelJumpstart.com, where he helps content creators get massive results from their YouTube efforts. Here's the YouTube Formula book. He's the executive producer of the hit series called The Chosen that you might have interacted with. He has an audio dubbing and translation service called dittodub.com. He has more gold play buttons, I think, than YouTube does.
He does.
And he's responsible for more successful content creators directly and indirectly than probably anybody out there. Ladies and gentlemen, Derral Eves.
Hey,
what's going on, Derral? Oh, you put my headphones in. Yeah, we're like, no headphones.
We're used to not having on headphones. Yeah, let's go.
There we go.
Now
Let's
you're
go.
There we go.
There he is with the wall of play buttons behind him. How you doing, Derral?
Oh, today is a good day. So,
yes. Good. So what makes it a good day for you, Derral?
Do you know when you wake up and you do what you love? I mean, that's a great day. I just love what I do, and so I get the opportunity to really, impact the world in different ways. And man, it's so great. It's great to be on with you guys. Just love what you guys are doing.
Love it. Awesome to have you here. Super excited to have you here. You ready to answer some questions?
Yeah,
today?
Let's do it. Yep, let's do it.
So Derral, before we get into some questions, really quick, I'm going to put, Dee just put it up there right now. So I just mentioned that you are the, founder of Vid Summit. Yeah. So really quick, before we get into some questions, would you mind just, letting everybody know just some details about Vid Summit? What is it? What inspired you to do Vid Summit? Like what's going on for Vid Summit?
Yeah, so I've been on YouTube since 2005, and I saw this opportunity. I'm an entrepreneur, and saw this opportunity called the creator economy. And this is before a lot of people was really talking about the creator economy. Creators would come in, and they're super talented, but they wouldn't build a business around what they were doing, and they would come and go. And these are my friends, and I'm like, man, there needs to be a change. And I was going out, speaking, because I have a lot of case studies and I was keynote or whatever. And there wasn't really a conference for creators. There was one for creators to interact with fans or whatever, but it wasn't really creators helping other creators. And so for me, I'm not one to complain and just say, hey, I wish they would do this or whatever. I just go out and make it. So literally 11 years ago, we went out and created a conference, invited just a handful of people I wanted to learn from on stage. And we had about 76 people there at Vid Summit 1. And one being Owen Video, believe it or not.
Nice. Owen's the man. Wow. Love Owen.
Yeah, Owen was like, I wonder what this YouTube thing is. So yeah, it was a great time. And one of the cool things about it is I love to learn. I love to learn. I love people, love to learn. And so I'd say that's my passion. And so I just always choose people that I want to learn from on stage. And I personally do this selfishly. Like I go through every single presentation. Now, maybe not at the conference. That's why we do replays. And I spend a lot of time. And what I do love more than anything else is like the people that are invited to be on stage. They have actual advice and actual tactics and strategies that can help you where you're at. And it doesn't matter if you're starting out, it doesn't matter if you've been doing it for a while or whatever. This last year we had Zach King as one of the keynotes. And it was probably one of the most brilliant presentation on, hey, don't ever give up. Like don't ever give up. Like you might fail, but it's not maybe a failure. It's like pushing you towards what you need to do. And he gave one of the most masterful presentations on that, and then also how he built a business around it. So
nice. Well, thanks for that, Derral. Like, I know I'm super looking forward to Vid Summit this year, as I do every year. And when I was looking through the speaker list, I saw that you have Julie. I think you say Nolke is how you say her last name. Yeah. Love her skits that she does. Yeah, I'm super excited for hers. I mean, you have a lot of really good ones on here as always. But when I saw her on here, I was like, oh, this is great. Can't wait to learn from her.
She is like super smart. Like, I mean, she's witty. I mean, that's where sketch comedy comes into it. But she has built an amazing business around her in an entertainment company. It's just amazing. So
nice. So yeah, you ready to get in here and answer some questions?
Let's do it.
Okay. So the very first one here is from Cosmic Quest Hobbies. Cosmic Quest Hobbies uploads when they have time. The type of channel is outer space theme model building with a background story.
That's cool.
The goal of the channel is to provide my viewers a distraction from everyday life and show some skills and techniques. The question is, I just reached 1,000 subscribers after 3 full videos and 1 short. I don't want to lose momentum, but the videos take quite a while to make due to how long some of the models take to build. It might be 5 to 6 weeks between videos at the rate that I'm going. Is it okay to have the model builds broken into episodes or sections, or will that make people lose interest as well as mess up my storytelling with the videos?
Yeah, I would probably recommend not to break it up into multiple videos. I'd rather have a longer form video than for shorter videos. I definitely would take the time and energy to do it. Now, keep in mind, it's about quality, not quantity, and it's about really that connection. So what I do love is I do love channels like this. I really do. There's something going on that you're interested in, and it helps your ADD. You know what I'm saying? You're just like pulled in, right? And then there's a great story to go with it. That's amazing. So like for me, keep up the good work. And what I would do is really hone in your storytelling. I'm not saying I haven't watched your content, so I don't know how amazing your storytelling is, but every storyteller can do a better job. And one thing that if it can coincide or connect with the model itself, that's even better. So if you can figure out a way to weave that in and really give someone the ability to disconnect from reality and maybe dream a little bit, or imagine. Science fiction is so powerful, and also science fact is really powerful too. There's just a lot of opportunity, and for me, I love space, and I love stories, and I love just what that represents. So.
And one question that I have for you, Derral, that I think a lot of people would benefit from here, because you have a vast amount of experience with this, just from the content creators that you've worked with on YouTube, plus working on the Chosen. When it comes to storytelling as it relates to YouTube content, what advice do you have for people when it comes to just crafting a good story? I know you mentioned some of this in the YouTube formula as well, but and again, for everybody that's interested in that, this is what it looks like. But when it comes to storytelling for a content creator, what type of advice do you have, or tips, should I say, do you have for people that are trying to interweave stories into the content that they're sharing?
Yeah, so humans from day one, we like to talk about what we do. We sit around campfires and talk about our day, and we love to connect. And when I break down story, it's about how do you make it real for someone? How do you connect with them? What are the beats to connect? Something emotional. So in my channel Jumpstart, I have like a group where they come to my house, and we go from there. We just got done with that yesterday, and so like all day, couple days, at the house, and we were going through it. And there's a really big creator there, has about 7 channels, tons of views, make a ton of money, and he was talking about this event that occurred. And he goes, I can't replicate that. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, this only happens like one, it was eclipse, it's like only happens, this times a year. And I go, I think you're missing what the value is. And he goes, well, no. I mean, like, go there. I says, okay. I go, I don't want to argue, but let me kind of explain what I'm saying is, it says, why did that video perform? You're thinking because it was an event. I'm just saying that people were able to connect. And then when I went back through and weaved through how people connect through content and how it's relatable, and the story that was behind of how it all comes together, we went back and went through his top 50 videos, and every single one had that same thing. And it was like, I'm like, okay, now you can do it. Now you see it. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go back, change title thumbnails, and go through this whole thing. And I'm like, great, let's go ahead and do it. And what's crazy is when people really look at how do you actually bring in someone that's curious about what's going on and then weave them through the process. It's all about human emotion, human connection. And so let me give you a perfect example. If I literally wanted to start a YouTube channel, I would probably dig the biggest into understanding the audience of really who is going to be the viewer. And this is like opposite of what most people do. They're like, oh, this is the content, and the content will find the viewer. Well, no. I want to be able to find who the viewer is going to be based on my hypothesis and assumption of what the content's going to be. And after that, then I look for what are the emotional connections that there's some commonality between it, And so for me, there's ways to connect even deeper once you start understanding the psychological breakdown. So I usually do that, and then I start weaving in, okay, what's type of the content that they like, and I try to gravitate towards that content and try to understand from that viewer's perspective of the value that they're getting from it. And every single time, you know, I'm finding the story, and there are people like, well, no, it's like, this is just an informational channel, or this is an instructional. I'm like, no, it's not. It's actually a great storytelling. They might not tell the longest story, but it's like literally weaving it in, similar to what this guy's doing with the models. You know, it's just like really pulling it in. And my whole thing is, once you make the shift of saying, I don't care what type of content that you're putting on YouTube, you're telling a story, and you take it from a storytelling approach, you'll actually make better content that connects with people. And for me, there's certain beats, you know, there's always the hero's journey. There's a lot of different types of ways to tell a story. But you just need to first off recognize, oh, there's another person on the opposite side of that video, and they're looking for something. Now, they might be looking for information, but there's a way to weave a story in that makes that information more valuable. So like before I even came on, I was like listening in the background, and I like to laugh at D a lot. I don't know D, sorry.
Yeah, I do
like
too.
To laugh at
I do too. Yeah.
No, but we're so much the same. I love these breakdown channels. You know, it's like that, but it's like, I will watch something when I'm interested in it, and then I'm curious to go deeper into why did that work that way, or what was their thought process. So just to give you, there's a great series on Amazon, and it's kind of the breakdown behind the scenes of how the Simpsons was started and the mistakes that they made. And man, that was one of the most fascinating pieces of content that I've seen in a long time. It's just like really, you know, really funny, really snarky, really fun, but yet it was a really powerful way for creators to say, oh my gosh, we just can't just create. We need to build business processes around this, and there needs to be a method, and then also, more importantly, they need to be able to have to wash, rinse, and repeat episodes, and I just love it. I love that type of content. So for me, that's what it is. It's just like, hey, give it in a storytelling form. You might weigh into it a little bit heavier on some content. Other content you might not when it comes to like informational. But the more that you can pepper in that story of connection and giving clarity of the why and the what and the how, that's going to come back as a lot of views. And so
love it. So just as an example of that, so let's say somebody has like a
he laughs at me.
Like yeah, I do. Yeah, just because I laugh at you too. So yeah, like let's say somebody has like a crafting channel. So in that particular case, would you recommend to somebody that has a crafting channel that as they are, you know, putting things together, that they are telling people, you know, kind of what inspired them to make that piece and why they have the personal connection with that piece and those sorts of things? Is that, you know, just to kind of add just a little bit of clarity for people that are, you know, trying to figure out how to work this into the content that they're making?
Yeah. Like, why did you choose it? Was it because it was getting views on some other channel? That's boring, you know. Yeah, I did it because I wanted a lot of views, and so I wanted for there. No, right. That's not what it is. Like, something speaks to you, right? But if it was like, you know, I really love this craft because it reminds me of my grandma, and I can't wait for us to dive in for this craft. It's very cheap. You know, you can get it done for less than $10, and let's just kind of get into it. So I've pretty much set up, hey, we're going to talk about my grandma the whole time. You know, and the influence of, you know, and you might have someone special in life, but my grandma was the most amazing person, you know, and this was actually the first craft I ever did with her. So it means a lot to me, you know, stuff like
Perfect.
That is just like so powerful.
Yeah, love that. Absolutely love it. So the next question that we have here is from Elena Buteris Art. Elena does daily content. It's an art channel. The goal of the channel is to make a living making art and teaching sketching. And the question is, if I'm making a video specifically for search to answer a question, should I make the same title as this question and the thumbnail clearly showing the subject, or make it something interesting to click on, like you are using your sketchbook wrong, and a thumbnail showing just a sketchbook with a question mark, for example? The question itself will be someone in the description in this case. So I think what they're asking is basically, you know, optimizing their videos for recommendations or optimizing their videos for search, I think, is kind of what this question is kind of wrapped around.
Yeah, I would say I like to optimize my content for people. and people discover content in different ways. If you want 75% of all views to happen, like get it to YouTube to recommend it instead of a search. But search is really powerful too. And when I look through, if I'm coming through search, I'm looking, how do I get them to watch another video? That's probably more what I'm thinking about than the title of the video that's going to be relevant in search. So I'm like, okay, what's some content that can coincide together? Because as soon as I kick in that, then it's going to have a high recommendation of a suggested video on that. And so for me, that's kind of what I look at very specifically. And so at the end, I want you to take 2 steps back from what you're thinking about, because I think you're thinking of the right things, but I think you're thinking of things that aren't as relevant. What value do you want to bring? What value do you want to bring to that viewer? Is it education? And for you to tell me that I'm using my sketchbook wrong, who are you to tell me that I'm using my sketchbook wrong? And for me, there's a lot of things that you can approach. Now, I understand the curiosity. Well, how can I use my sketchbook wrong? Right? I understand that, but it's just better if you really look at the nature of the person that's going to be watching the content. And then 2, keep in mind that there's a lot of people that think their audience is a lot older or younger than what it currently is. And so more digging into the who. Teaching drawing, can come at different ages, but you're gonna find it's going to be the emerging market will be like Gen A, so they're in elementary school, middle school, even coming into high school now, and then Gen Z. You'll see a really bigger portion of it, and so it's not necessarily the drawing in it, but what you draw. So I guarantee you, if you switch to anime. You have a higher opportunity to connect with them because that's what they're trying to learn how to draw. So, I mean, there's a lot of things, and I'm not saying that's what you're about. Now, there's another red flag that, from my point of view, was it sounds like you're about quantity over quality. You're putting out daily content. It's really hard to do a daily video. Like, it is the hardest thing in the world to do daily content and do it right without a team. And it could be short form videos, and that might be great that you're able to kind of batch shoot, maybe one day and you get 7 videos, that you're going from there or whatever that is. But realistically, it's very, very hard. And so my question is, are you trying to do that just to get the videos out there so that you can have one start taking off and then you'll slow it down? If so, I would probably go to 3 a week. And the reason why, because I would rather put a little bit more time, energy, and effort in 3 videos than to have it in 7. I know that seems really counterintuitive of saying, hey, I want to be discovered. Well, it gives you a little bit more time. In fact, 4 videos that you'd be dropping to spend on some research and the way to make it better and get very, very critical with your piece of content. I'd rather have that. So,
yeah, and another thing too, like this sort of the answer to your question, I think, also lies in like who is it that you're trying to bring into the video anyway? And I think this is, in alignment with what Derral was saying. And then once they do come into the video, like, what is it exactly you're trying to deliver for them? So, like, if you're like, hey, here's how you, set up a sketchbook, that's going to create a different expectation when somebody's clicking on it versus, you're using the sketchbook wrong, right? So if you think about that ahead of time, then it kind of helps you be able to present everything in a more accurate way that will be in better alignment with the people that are interacting with the content.
Yep, absolutely.
Next up, we've got Snowbee Gaming. They upload when they have time. Derral, what games do you play? Do you play any?
Oh my gosh, I play Fortnite. I do.
I love it. I play Fortnite too. My girlfriend and I play almost every night. It's our bonding time. Yeah, it's great.
So we do Fortnite. Creative mode is a pretty interesting mode. In fact, one of the themes at Vid Summit is basically the world that Epic is building, and creators now can make their own maps and then monetize off their own maps. They had it where, you can support a creator, but Typical Gamer is coming doing the presentation, and Chad Mustard, and they have a company that they're crushing it. And so and the cool thing about it is it's a really, really good opportunity for a lot of creators to capitalize on another revenue stream that would actually surpass the revenue stream that they do on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
It's unbelievable. And so, they're going to be talking about that. So for me, yes, I'm all in on Fortnite. I made a goal. I'm goal centric. I'm sorry, but I didn't really play. I played a little bit, but I'd embarrass my boys when I'd play with them. And I said, okay, this year, 2024, I'm gonna get good at Fortnite. And so I started on our Christmas break in the Dominican Republic, and got my first Vic Royale New Year's Eve, and then the next day I got 5, and now I play 3 games a day. So that's what I do.
Nice. Wow. Nice. Love it. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I love hearing that. Okay, so yeah, this is a gaming channel. The goal of the channel is to make gaming videos and earn an income from them. And the question is, if I alter my voice for the sake of different effects in a video or use AI voiceovers, must I declare it as altered content with the AI settings during the video upload? So, well, yeah, go ahead, Derral.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so one thing I was going to say is I was actually going to go outside of this a little bit and actually just ask your opinion on just supplementing AI inside of content. Like, what are your thoughts on, using, AI video for, some of your B-roll, adding voiceovers, things like that to what it is that you're doing? What are your thoughts on that?
Yep. So if you're trying to use AI to replace you so you could just sit back and drink, on the beach, then you're thinking about it wrong. If you're looking to improve the quality of your content and speed up the process, then you're thinking the right way. So I would view it as a tool. Now, let me give a word of warning. Since I've been on YouTube since the beginning, YouTube goes through a phase, and we're in the phase that YouTube's going to do what they always do, okay, which is, hey, there's new stuff out there that could lead to bad actors and a lot of spam, and we will course correct really aggressively. Okay, so what that means is, I don't say this year or next year, not doing gloom, but there will be channels that will lose their partner status, lose their monetization, and a lot of people will be caught in the wake of that. So for me, let's do it the right way. If you're using AI, don't use an AI voice. Let's use your voice, and then if there's certain things that you want to enhance, we can go from there. But the moment that you start to create a footprint of this is AI driven solely, I think you're going to lose every single time. And it's not because you can't do it faster or spam it. You might be able to hack it for a little while, but it always catches up. And you're like, well, how do they tell?
The sustainability is the hard part. Yeah.
But I can tell you this. In my own personal content, AI is so important, and I'm going to warp D's head right now. Can I do that? D, can I warp your head?
Oh, absolutely. It's open season on D.
Listen, so it's not absolutely difficult to do. And before you melt my brain, which I'm sure you're literally getting ready to melt my brain, also throw into this your prediction for the next 3 to 4 years and where AI tools are going to. Yeah, because look, AI is going to be out of control. It's already getting out of control. I would love to hear your prediction for creators and for these platforms over the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, I love it.
Melt away. I'm all ears. Go.
Okay, so
I'm going to get a bag and hold it around my ears. Hold on.
Who would you say that the best showrunner, writer, director in Hollywood is right now?
Oh my goodness. The best?
Interstellar, come on.
Yeah. Okay, Christopher Nolan. Would you put Christopher Nolan out there?
Yeah. Let's go Christopher Nolan. I had to go through the Rolodex. Christopher Nolan,
Here's what I want you to know about the Nolan brothers. So you have Christopher and Jonathan Nolan. Okay, Jonathan, Fallout is freaking amazing, by the way. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's so great.
Love it.
Okay, they use AI to help assist their writing, and they've done it they've done it since Inception. Inception's actually an AI scenario driven, and they've had AI. They had their own proprietary writing AI for a very long time in Hollywood. So,
interesting. They're ahead of us.
Yeah.
Fallout's amazing, by the way. That first episode, yes.
But what I'm saying is, I think it can help assist, and I think AI is all about assisting the creators. And when you view it as a tool that can help, really help you understand something or really go through the process, that's so much better. But I can tell you right now, most people think that AI is ChatGPT, and that's so wrong. Like, I wouldn't even look at that. That's just a segment. And then two, they do a lot of trust in it because like, oh man, look what I got out of it. And I'm like, it doesn't even sound like you. Like it's just like, there's no connection to where it is. So like whatever you do, you need to make it integrated with your system and then also leverage it the right way. So I've been on the AI forefront since 2012. Okay, and I'll just be.
I remember my very first vid summit that I went to, which I think was maybe 2017, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it was you and Ricky Ray Butler at that time were both, your presentations, part of them were actually talking about AI basically on the horizon.
Yeah. And if you really look at it, so YouTube in 2012 was a view-based algorithm, and they did a small experiment, which was they have this project called Google Brain. And they're like, what if we actually have Google Brain control YouTube? What's it going to do? So they had a small little subset of YouTube that was being controlled by an AI. And ultimately, once that happened, they thought that they were going to lose their job because the views were going down. But all it was doing is learning. And then it gave them numbers that they couldn't even replicate anywhere else because it's fulfilling with the goal what the AI actually has, which is predict what people want to watch and then keep them on the platform longer. So I went all in around that time of really trying to understand the AI. And then for me, just for all of you, everyone says algorithm, but it's algorithms. You can read it in my book. But the point is an AI is controlling those algorithms, and all they're trying to do is understand people. They're trying to understand people's patterns and really interpret it in a way to predict what they would actually like to have on YouTube and keep them on the platform longer. And the AI has done a great job. They've grown leaps and bounds year over year. You have a great experience on YouTube. In fact, it just surpassed, just on TV alone, Netflix this year. It's just unbelievable, the growth pattern, and it's all really trying to help people get what they want to watch that they don't know yet right in front of them. And so that's where it's at. So for me, I've been really looking for tools. A lot of the tools that we've currently used, proprietary, there's always an AI component into it, just to help us understand maybe unstructured data, and structure it in a way that we can actually use that data in some other manner. But I would say though, what's beautiful was there's great tools like Adobe, and there's great integrations with it. About a year and a half ago, they integrated something where you could take a podcast, multiple track, hit one button, and it's all edited for you. I'm like, that's so brilliant. Just like taking all the angles and, isolating the sound. And it's so great, and I'm like, man, that literally saved 8-10 hours, of work. And so I'm a big proponent of it, but what I'm not is when you take out your own creativity and you base it on what they thinking is best, instead of you really doing an analysis of really understanding who the person is, because people connect to people. I'm here to tell you that's what happens. People connect to people, and you can't take the people or the humanity out of your content, or it's going to all feel the same. And some people says, oh man, I got all these channels. I can literally smell an AI channel that is done. I can literally smell it. It's not that hard to see. There's a lot of fragments, from there that they just do straight AI. And for me, I don't like it. And to answer the question full circle, if you're doing some slight modifications just with the audio with AI and the edit with AI, no, you don't have to hit the button. But the moment that you use any visual representation of it, or it's not your voice and it's an AI driven voice, absolutely, you're going to need to do that.
And really quick, just some quick shout outs. I just want to give a shout out. Roberto Blake's in the house. He said that he still sucks at Fortnite, but he'll destroy everyone in Halo or Call of Duty, even right now. And we've also got Roger Wakefield in the house. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing great. Says Derral is a rock star. Hope you're doing awesome,
yeah.
Roger.
Yeah, Roger was just at my house yesterday.
Oh, okay, so. Nice. Yeah, he's in Jumpstart, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the next question that we have here on our list is, did we do Snowbee Gaming? Yeah, we did. Okay, so we got Snowbee Gaming taken care of there. So next up, we've got Derek's Lawn Rescue. They do volunteer lawn care. The goal of the channel is to help as many people in my community as possible and to make some money. The question is, sometimes I have to make shorts on CapCut on my phone instead of using DaVinci Resolve like normal. Since D uses CapCut, a lot of what since he uses CapCut a lot, what audio level setting is best for background music? It's different because I can't see it being minus 30 dB when using CapCut.
Man, that's kind of a bad thing about CapCut and using something free like that. I mean, even the paid version doesn't give you the proper settings on that. Play it by ear. Until CapCut actually gives us settings to where we can measure that, just play it by ear. If I put a music bed inside of the video and I'm using CapCut to do it, I just listen to it, and then I'll render part of it out, and I'll play it back, and I'll listen. And then I'll say, okay, is that too loud? Is it not too loud? And then I'll automate some of the things in there. You know, I'll build it up and I'll build it down through automation to kind of add movement to it so things don't get boring. But they don't give you the proper settings in CapCut. So you gotta ear it. But here's something. If you have the ability, if you know how to use something like Adobe Audition or Logic Pro or Audacity, even I believe Audacity is free, you can learn how to EQ music for dialogue. So there can be competing frequencies. So if you learn how to EQ that out, it can make your voice actually sit better on top of the music. So it makes some add some clarity to your voice.
And Adobe actually has a plugin in that as well. They can hit it and it'll do it automatic. So I mean,
oh really?
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Off the top of your head, you know what that's called? The plugin?
I'd have to go look at it. It's one of the tools that we use. But yeah, you just hit one button, it automatically.
There you go. Right. Like we're moving into like the one button phase of life. Right. Not one button. Great. Yeah.
And out of curiosity, Derral, so, because you produce content or involved in producing content, across, large amounts of channels across genres. Do you have any standards? I mean, I know you have standards, but in terms of like audio, for example, do you have any like standards in terms of like, okay, it needs to be, we need to hit like this, these LUFs, or, we need to hit this, the audio needs to be at this % of the audio, the spoken audio volume, like that sort of thing. Yeah, because I know you also do it from like a professional production standpoint as well. So just wanting some insights on that. So
I have a sound guy, so I'm like, just make it sound good. Got it. So we go from there. It's just really important to do that. Now understanding the injection of music or sound effects, I'm really, I would say, anal about that. I'm just really wanting to get it the right way. And for me, it could ruin a piece that you've put a lot of time, energy, and effort in if it's done wrong. And yeah, I can see the frustration on it. But here's the thing for that long cutting channel. What was the channel's name again?
It was Derek's Lawn Rescue.
So Derek, I think you said that you want to make some money on it. Some of the biggest channels that I've seen on TikTok, on YouTube, also on Instagram, was the story of someone that lost control of their yard, and someone comes in and does it for free.
That's what they do. Yeah, that's what this channel is. That's what they do. Yeah.
But now the difference would be is the person that you're doing, because you have the person, and then you have their monstrous project, and then you have the process of taking something and transforming. So it's transformational video, believe it or not. And a lot of people focus in on the yard as the nemesis, and that's wrong. If you can figure out how to weave it in, so it's like, oh, single mom, just 4 jobs, is trying to take care of it, and you capture that, or a vet that is struggling with things, we came in and did this for them. And so it's just more of that human element is really, really, really important. So,
what's heartbreaking with that is sometimes there's channels, and I see it more on TikTok than I do on YouTube. And it's only because how YouTube is, how they're recommending content to me. I'm sure they're out there, but people who go in to clean up houses for hoarders.
Oh yeah.
People who they haven't been able to clean their house, and it's just a mess. And I find that heartbreaking, but just to what Derral says, it's really touching. It's not about going in and cleaning a mess. It's about, that's a real human who's struggling through life.
Right, and they're helping them out.
And they're helping them out. And just that whole process, and to see them after the fact, man, some of that stuff is really heavy. And you see some of the environments that they're living in, and you're just like, holy cow, man. But it gives you so much more of an emotional impact. I actually wish YouTube would recommend more of that content. Every blue moon, they'll show something. I'll watch it, and I'll give it a thumbs up, and I'll leave a comment. And
No, D, let me fix that for you. I know something about this algorithm that helps YouTube to predict.
Got any tricks?
Just watch it twice. That's all you got to do. Just watch it twice, and you're good to go.
Interesting.
There's no thumbs up that's gonna say, "Hey, YouTube's gonna recommend," but you watch that twice. Like go. They will literally just
like a loop.
Yep.
Loop it.
That's why I see Mono Man all the time.
That's
because
right.
I've listened to that Mono Man song probably 100 times. Yeah, so that's probably why they are constantly presenting it to me.
Hoarder channels, I'm coming for you.
Yep, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Yep. Us Plus Dad, thanks for the super chat. Says, really enjoyed Vid Summit 2023. Was very eye-opening for our two oldest daughters. Will probably bring them again, but haven't purchased their tickets yet. Would it be possible to get one? Hashtag DadCard 2024. I think you guys got them last year, I believe. I think you guys won some tickets here last year, I believe, to cover them. I think so last year. So,
why
that
don't
was
we just do it again? We'll make it an annual thing here. So
okay.
I'm sorry. I do have a sensitive part of just these younger kids that are super amazing. And so, let's go ahead. Just reach out, Us Plus Dad, just reach out to me on Twitter, and I will take a screenshot and make sure my team gets you stuff for your daughters. So
love it. That's love right there.
Pay for your ticket, but we'll cover your daughter. So
love it. Absolutely love it. Yep, that's that good heart coming through right there. Love it. So
the Eves effects continues.
Right, here it goes.
2024 onward.
Right. So next up we have Channel NIM is the name of the channel. They do daily content as well. Entertainment content. The goal of the channel is putting a smile on people's faces. And the question is, I've uploaded a daily YouTube short, sometimes more than one per day, letting people know what day it is as a national day of. Like today is National Rose Day and World Gin Day. Would you recommend people do this? I get about 400 views on average and have added about 300 subs so far in 11 months. Derral, your thoughts?
Yeah, I probably would look at another way to bring in content because just if you're not aware, Shorts doesn't hit immediately when you go, so you'd have to release it like a month early sometimes to even get the views on the correct day. And YouTube has to take a little bit of time for the audience, and then two. Believe it or not, there's a lot of diversity in your content. You might not see it, but from my perspective, if all I care about is National Donuts Day, which was yesterday, I just found out
I didn't even know all these days existed.
Exactly. But it's just like it has, it's different than, flowers, so it's just like you might see a correlation between it, but the viewers not. And so what I would look at is, and I'm going to just tell you what to do. If you follow what I'm saying, there is an audience for it. But if you talked about this day in history or this month in history or this week in history, and you go back from a historical perspective, people will watch it very, very astutely. Like even a minute, like you can say, oh, this is the stuff that happened, whatever. There's a lot of interest because you're connecting the past with the present. And but getting on a specific day, it's hard. So I'd probably lean into a month. This is what happened in a month because you get a little bit more run rate on that if you want to be around days. But yeah, that's a very tough one for Evergreen and that connection because I'm like, oh, it's like August. Why am I seeing something about April? So.
Yeah, I was going to mention that about the evergreen nature of it, and just in terms of like, okay, since it's all focused on a day, then you have to nail it on that day, or else the content, isn't relevant anymore, unfortunately. So next up on the list here, we've got let's see here, Leia Seaborn, I believe is how you say that. They are getting ready to start their channel. Been on YouTube. Says been making videos for YouTube for a year or more. Okay, that they just selected that wrong in the drop-down box.
Okay.
It's a music channel, so it's instrument production and tutorials, etc. The goal of the channel is to promote my own music, but mostly to enjoy content creation, something that I miss having done in the past on different channels. And the question is, any advice for coming up with a good value proposition or tagline? Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So you triggered me on a couple things. Number one was saying tutorials, but you want to share your music. That's two different things. You can't do that. Like no one's going to come get a tutorial of your music if they don't know who you are and your music. It's just not there. So that's kind of a trigger on that point. And then the second thing is that if the value proposition is they're coming to learn about the music, what aspects are you trying to help them understand from a tutorial based type things? And so I would probably do two channels, and I don't mean that in a to give you more work, but it's a totally different audience when I want to go listen to music versus go learn about music and go geek out about it. And so I'd probably separate it because it is separate audiences. And then it can feed each other. You can direct people that, hey, I'm doing my own music over here. And if they are of interest, they can go over and watch. I wouldn't do a hard push in the videos. I just allude to, but it's a totally different value prop on it. The next thing is, music is complicated. If there's one aspect about YouTube that's probably the one that I get the most frustrated with would be music and music channels, and then B, I would say CAPA, kids channel type stuff. Because there's a lot of laws, regulations, and then more importantly, a lot of greedy hands that come in to try to stop things. There's a lot of people that are doing it right where they're JVKE Jake. You can look him on TikTok and YouTube. I think he has like 12 million subscribers here on YouTube. He's doing it the right way. Like he's taking, and it's a social moment, and they're using his music as that social moment, and then he really makes his music and produces his music for social settings, so people will use it as that audio file on TikTok, and the same on YouTube, where it credits him back. And now he's filling up, I won't say stadiums, but theaters now. And it's just great. Him and his brother are super smart, but they're doing it right, where it's more about, hey, my piano teacher reacted to, and they show him playing a song, and it's more about that social connection of the video, and they can relate, and she does this freak out, and then it kind of goes full circle on it. So
yeah, and I also want to mention, like, as somebody that listens to music on YouTube, and because I do, some music production for a hobby, so I also watch a lot of tutorial content on music channels. One thing that you also break there is, if I'm coming to your channel because I want to learn from you, because I think you're a good teacher and you explain things in a way that I can understand, and then YouTube recommends like a song that you made that you also published on your channel, I probably won't click on the song. If I do, it'll just be out of curiosity to know if it's something, like, oh, okay, well, they make music too. Let's see, what this is about. Right. But I probably wouldn't be, watching all of those. So because of that, every time YouTube presented that to me, I would actually be, essentially one of the people that would hurt the performance of that video, because it would be something that I wouldn't be interested in. So, Derral's suggestion in terms of, separating that up to where it's like, hey, I have this music channel over here, and then I teach you how to make music over here. It makes both of them bingeable, because as somebody that listens to music a lot in the background on YouTube while I'm working, I'll just put on a playlist on a channel, and then I'll just sit there and just listen to everything that's going on. I'll literally go to their playlist on the homepage of their recent videos and just click into that and hit play all, and then I just sit back and listen to it while I'm sitting there working. Whereas with the tutorials, it's a totally different experience. Yeah. So yeah, separating those up is definitely the move. Yep, without question.
Yep.
So next up, we've got EFAMGO. EFG is the name of the channel. They do bi-weekly content. The type of channel is family vlog meets episode show. It's an entertainment channel. The goal of the channel is to create a lane for my daughter to act while keeping her safe from the industry. The question is, I just launched a brand new channel, and I plan to upload an episode bi-weekly. So far, we've uploaded 2 episodes and gained little traction. If we plug the 2-week gap holes with tons of shorts, will that give us the core audience we need, or will we just grow shorts? I really want to focus on quality long-form videos. What would you recommend?
Yeah, I always talk about my triggers, and I do apologize. This is the way I process, though. But I understand you're doing it for your daughter, and you want to keep her safe from the industry. But I think your daughter needs to run the channel, not you.
Ooh. Nice.
And the reason why, she'll make content that she's interested in. You'll think, oh, that's never going to go, but that's what goes. Like I've done this way too many times where parents have great intentions and so on. Now, if she's not 13, yeah, she needs some parental whatever, but keep in mind that you might be, going into the kids space. Just that's just the way it is, and that has its own challenges. But when you're creating content and you're trying to get your daughter to do it, then she's not taking full ownership of it and might not see it. And then two, it might be cringy because it's not connecting with the audience that's intended. And one of the most beautiful channels I've ever seen is A for Adley. I've seen it like her grow up from birth to where she's at today. She has one of the bigger kids channels out there on YouTube. And it's beautiful. She literally directs every single thing. Camera, come over here, whatever. She's literally doing it, and she's done it her whole life. It's not mom and dad saying, hey, what do you want to do for fun-wise? And she says, oh, we're going to do this for fun, and that's what they make a video out of it. Now she is producing her own videos, and and it's just been great to watch her just really be natural with it. But it resonates really well because what she finds fun, so does her viewers. And so for me, I would definitely do that. And then there's a secondary thing that might shock a lot of you. I know your intention is, hey, I want longer form videos. But the reality is it's more about giving your daughter the opportunity to act and get her out of the industry if that's the case. Well, the form of content that I would do is shorts. I wouldn't even focus anything on long, and start working and exercising on that because it's far easier for reach in a lot of regard. And then two, the audience that would connect with that's where they're watching a lot of their content right now. Now, don't misunderstand me. They are watching the longer form content too, and that happens. That's just really hard to really start to connect. So I'd really grow an audience there, and then I'd probably start another channel that's just long form. That would be that. Most people would do it on the same channel. I'd have to look at the data of who's doing it and maybe testing it out. There's Jenny Hoyos. I've been trying to get her very specific to do one long form a month, and it's starting to take off now after a couple years. But it's like really, really honing in on that process and creating that opportunity. So in short, let her pick what she does and do it, and you don't do anything outside of okay. I'll record you, and have her be in charge of the edit too. The edit is part of that creation process. And believe it or not, the most talented people that I've ever worked with are some of the best editors because they understand the beats. They understand how to really pull it in and connect. And it's amazing when you're helping them go through this process, and then two, when they have ownership, it becomes fun, and not I have to do this because Dad wants me to do it. So.
Love it. That probably moves the parent out of the way too, in terms of judging an idea if it's bad or good and things like that as well, and just kind of lets the creativity of the kid flourish.
Yeah, the parent's usually the problem. Go do this. I've mentored so many different family channels and so many different kids type of content, and even teenagers, and I'm like, just get mom and dad, push them aside. You be their manager. Just get out of the mix, the mix of it. So
next up, we have Build with Mooney. Build with Mooney uploads when they have time. Been on YouTube for a year or more. They do DIY woodworking content. The goal of the channel is to share and to teach. And the question is, I just got the ABC thumbnail testing the other day. Yay. So excited. I need the help. I'm running a test right now on my latest video. My question is, should I do a test on every video moving forward? I think I missed the mark on my latest video, and I didn't start the test until after 4 days, but I'm running the test anyways. Thanks for all of your help. So just your thoughts in general, because everybody's going to be getting this. So your thoughts on the YouTube thumbnail A/B testing tool, Derral. Ways people should be thinking about it. Go.
Yeah. I would say this. and I love A/B testing. I love to get data, and sometimes it really shocks you what happens. So, yes, use the A/B testing tool. I would do it vigorously. I would make two types of changes: ones that are subtle changes, and that would be a test, and the one that's an extreme change. There was a presentation by FootCrunch, who's one of the biggest FIFA content on YouTube, and he presented at VidSummit. And he mentioned how he switched his titles, or I'm sorry, his thumbnails very specifically around 20, 25 days and would get another million views on it. And so I would definitely look at that. And then ultimately look at the way to know when to change it. But the whole thing would be, once you understand what a winner is, that is your new A. And I would look at what's the commonality of the click and the type of content that it is, and then start, designing more to that and leaning in. The biggest winner though, like I've been doing A/B testing. Like if you go back, like one of my earlier presentations at VidSummit, I think it was VidSummit 10 or whatever, I was talking about how we were testing thumbnails, because they just barely came out with custom thumbnails, and we're like, okay, that's great. But we were doing ads on Facebook and trying to figure out what people would click, and the higher click through rate would transfer over, and just a few dollars there would bring in millions of views. And we were doing it there. And then two, I've been on the thumbnail testing side of YouTube since they basically did the first initial case study 7 years ago. And so I've been there, and it's just, I think they're now finally at a place that it actually makes sense and to go from there. And I would always do it. And then two, for those that don't have this option, just design 3 thumbnails, and you can understand your own baselines. And if you're not hitting it, making a modification. I had someone over yesterday, and they were saying, "Oh man, this video is underperforming," and I says, "It's not underperforming." And he goes, "Yeah, it is. It's horrible. I put a lot of energy and time into it. I want this to really get out to the world." And I'm looking at it. I'm like, "Dude, you're getting 26-minute retention. So it's like you literally have 26 minutes." And I said, "Your thumbnail sucks." And like, "Oh no, this is what it is." And whatever. And I'm like, "No, it's horrible. And your title's even worse." And so all we did was modify the packaging of that video. Okay, and we did it all together as a group. Okay. And it took a good 15, 20 minutes, right, of really getting what that was at. He was at 7.1 CTR rate on, and this is after 48 days. So we're talking, the click
way down the line.
Yeah, way down the line. It's not your most loyal audience, whatever. Within 3 hours, it was 21.8 click-through rate. And
nice.
His video is just popping off right now. And so, yes, thumbnails make the biggest difference of getting people in, and getting that click is so important. And so I would definitely test. And then I would always wait too. I wouldn't do it out of the gate. I want you to get that the ability to really look into it. I think Renee's here too. But
yeah, he is. Renee mentioned right here, he says, if you test immediately, you'll most likely get your core audience who are more inclined to click anyway. After 48 to 73 hours, you'll start getting more casual viewers, so worth testing against both.
Yep. That's what it is. So
next up, we've got...
Can I talk to Todd real quick? Todd, I understand.
Absolutely.
I understand that you're a professional. I understand that you're in entertainment. I understand that you're looking at Rebecca Simolo and Matt as that example. What I'm saying is, you might see it from an industry perspective, and you're going to come in. I've seen this a million times, brother. I've seen it. Like I can give it. I can preach it. I can go through it. It's like, what's going to make you different than just doing a rehash of somebody else's content? So you're looking at, here's a great vein of coming into it. And I'm saying, ooh, there's a bigger story. So what I want you to do is go into look at Chad, Wild Clay, and V, and look at the network effect that they created. They created stories. They created individuals. You might be able to help on that side when it comes to that. But at the end of the day, when I'm really looking at it, is that you have to have that personal buy off of the person that you're trying to help. But more importantly, if they're the audience that actually likes that content, then they're going to make a better opportunity for you to connect. Because they're going to see things that are trending that you don't. They're going to consume stuff, and you might have your way of doing stuff, and you're like, no, this is what was working because it's working over here, but you're not seeing what's going to be the natural audience. Because I can tell you, I do not want to build an audience off of somebody else's audience. I want to create my own audience. Let me reiterate that. I don't want to build it off somebody else's audience. I want to create my own audience, okay? And there's a way to appeal to some people. I'm here to tell you, I've been playing with this coin right here. It's a penny. That right here, this is Ryan Trahan penny right here. I've just been doing it. When I met him, he was doing exercise videos, and he goes, "I want to create content." And the example was Mr. Beast, right? And everybody's like, Mr. Beast. He goes, "I don't want to be Mr. Beast. Like, the world already has Mr. Beast." He goes, "I want my own audience." And Ryan learned how to be a great storyteller, but it was more about the simplicity of life and the challenges that all Gen A and Gen Z have, and making choices, because you have the destinies in your own hands. Like, if you want money, you can make money. You know, that's the whole Penny series is, hey, look, be looking for opportunities out there. And he's able to create his own content. So.
All right. So next up on the list, we have Dash Theory TV. They upload one time per week or more, been on YouTube for a year or more. The type of channel is gig workers, tips, and tricks. The goal of the channel is to learn how to do YouTube full time. And the question is, I'm looking to make a second unrelated channel. I'd like to make a sports opinion and video essay channel. I understand fair use may not prevent copyright claims, and I may not be eligible for YouTube monetization. Is this true? If so, what are ways that it can be monetized outside of DraftKings and similar gambling type sponsors?
I just lost my audio.
Okay.
Let me see real quick.
Yeah. So while he's doing that, while he's getting the audio together, Dee, if you want to take that down for just a second while he's getting that sorted.
Yep. Got it.
Yep. So basically, right here, so you're wanting to make a sports opinion and video essay channel, and you understand that fair use may not prevent copyright claims. What are ways that it can be monetized outside of DraftKings and similar gambling type sponsors? So if you are doing sports related content, you might be able to find things related to, affiliate marketing. So one thing that you might be able to do is just hop on Google and type in affiliate marketing programs and then do like sports related content or something like that. See if anything comes up that you might be able to utilize there. That might be a step in the right direction. In addition to that, I would, you can get copyright claims on videos, and if you are going to be doing sports related content, that is something that you're going to have to deal with. So you're definitely going to have to find other ways to monetize. But when it comes to sponsorships, you are going to need some type of volume for that to work out in most cases. But you definitely, I think he's restarting right now. Okay. But you definitely can promote things as an affiliate and stuff like that. But just keep in mind, if they're coming in for a video essay, in that particular case, they're not coming into that to, make any purchases per se. So you're gonna have to be really strategic in how you're actually bringing attention to things as a sponsor or, as an affiliate. But other things that you can also do is if you do have people that are really enjoying your content a lot, is you can get some type of crowdfunding in place. And with that crowdfunding, that's where you would set up either through Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee or something like that, where you would set them up to where people can go there to join either a membership or donate, or something like that. And with those types of things, usually it comes with something on the back end for the people that are members. So, for example, in your case specifically, that might be something you do a members only stream where you hop on and talk about the games after they happen. It could be something like you give them early access to the videos you publish and that sort of thing. But those types of things are also, really common when it comes to, ways that creators monetize, especially if you're monetizing with something that is a little bit more challenging on the monetization side.
All right, I don't know what happened. My headphone just died, so I couldn't hear anything that you were saying.
Yes,
so
I think Dee sat back down at the table. So that kind of happens when Dee's around. You can't really count on electronics, very much, right, D?
No.
I literally, yeah, it just is like you started to muffle out and then it just died. So there we go.
I'm like a walking EMP.
Is that
You just like get on a live stream with me, your audio's going out.
The whole YouTube platform's like glitching out all over the place right now. Yeah.
It's Saturday. Buckle up, boys.
Buckle up. Buckle up.
The IT people are like, oh no.
Here we go.
Yep. D is live again.
Yeah. Here we go.
So Dear Girl with Alice is our next channel here. They upload one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for less than a year. They do mental health for women. And the goal of the channel is to talk about mental health issues with women and provide support and solutions. It's an awareness channel. And the question is, I'm in the beginning stages. So how much do I create content that I want versus what others want? I try to create videos based on comments. What do you think, Derral?
Yeah.
What you want versus what the viewers want.
Well, I mean, if you want to do it for yourself and just don't expect more than one view, like that's the way I look at it. If you're just only doing it for yourself, then don't expect more than one view. But what I'm saying is you can still make it and do what people want and pull that in. So like for me, there's, especially with mental health, there's so many different things. So what I like to do is like really look at what are some things that trigger some mental health issues. I want to be able to have a full list of what those are. If you don't say social media in your phone and people's, there's just a lot of craziness, right? So, but you just want to make sure that you go through all those little things, right? And then really look at, especially if you're in the mental health industry, as a therapist or what have you, there's certain things that really set people off and cause them to kind of spiral down. And then I want you to write all those things down. And then I also want you to write a third column, which is all the tools that they can use, to really help overcome some of those challenges that they're facing. So you actually have three specific things. What you're doing is creating an avatar around someone that is struggling with something. It could be depression, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. And then it's just like, how do you package it in a way that you're helping more than just the person that's asking the question? And you might say, oh, these questions kind of coincide with this type of things, and here's these types of themes. And I always do themes first, so you go ahead. So that'd be a new sheet. Put your themes of what that is, and then I'm like, how do I make this more relevant today? How do I make this more relevant of what's going on? And how do I communicate that from a title? How do I communicate that in a thumbnail that is more relevant in that regard? And by doing that, you're actually talking to the right person at the right time, and they're coming in, and sometimes they don't even know they need help until they see why they need help. And you present it in the way and around those themes. And when you package that way, it's really, really powerful. So I really love what you're doing. I think there needs to be more people that do help out there, because I love people and we just live in a crazy world, and it's just kind of compound. And then two, there might be a specific type of person, and I don't mean this in the way of someone that has mental health problems or whatever. It's just like, no. It might be, you might gravitate towards, you might gravitate towards the person itself. And they might have some characteristics the same. So let me just give you the perfect example of this. And this is what I want you all to go look at. It's the most brilliant thing on YouTube. There's a YouTuber, he has 1.2 million subscribers. His name's Dry Creek Wrangler School.
Dwayne,
yeah.
And you go there, and I want you to go to his videos tab, top the most popular. He is actually a mental health channel. He's an old cowboy, and he just gives cowboy advice. He's usually puffing on a cigar or a pipe, and literally his edit is, I turn the camera on and then I turn it off. Has this really nice, tough cowboy voice, but he, one of my favorite videos he made is called Just Rest. And it's just like, hey, when you have everything going on in life and it feels like you're always just doing something, sometimes you just need rest. And he goes 22 minutes, really going through that. But his is more giving practical advice around people still trying to figure out life. And there's another video. It's like when you don't have it all together. And he literally does a beautiful discourse on and stories of nobody has it all together. If they say they do, they're really lying. And just really, really beautiful. But when you go and hear his videos, you might say, oh, it's for older people, whatever. No. It is literally Gen A, Gen Z. He even identifies some millennials, because these younger folks, he always calls them out. They're always doing comments. They just need fatherly advice. And when you read the comments in those videos, it's going to change your perspective as a creator. So I think you're coming at an approach differently than how I would come out of it. Okay, which is, I want to create what I want to do. No. That's not what you do. What you want to do is understand the landscape and understand the need, and then understand the themes, and then go look at a great channel like Dry Creek Wrangler School and dig into it and realize, oh, he's fulfilling a need. And now I see a pattern of when he succeeds is when he has these blunt talks and does it in a way that he can only do. And that value is in the video. And I'm telling you, people are watching all, sometimes 20, 30 minutes of his videos.
I watch him.
D watches. I've
been a big fan of his for a long time. And one of the things I love about Dwayne is, number one, he's incredibly humble. And he's very open about, like, he didn't have his life together up until not too long ago. So he's very open about the struggles that he's gone through. He's not trying to pretend to be somebody that he's not. Very humble, very open about his past, and that he's just kind of got it together himself. And Derral, and if you're watching his content, you probably know what I'm talking about. The power of YouTube. So they've struggled in the past to get a wrangler school together where people can come out and they can teach them how to be horsemen, horsewomen, horse people, horse they them, whatever it is. I don't know. But now with the power of YouTube, when they announced that they were taking students, like they're full for, like, I think the next year. And I just think that's incredible. The power of social media, the power of YouTube.
Yeah. And what I look at is there's timing of it, right? So, like, cowboys are coming back in style, and I use Yellowstone as the example, as in pop culture. Taylor Sheridan's building this massive empire that is so amazing around this universe, right? And then even Kevin Costner has a studio. He is doing a studio just right down the street from where I'm at. So it's like there's a lot of opportunity, of interest. Okay, and it's like, what did that content represent? It was like hard times, stepping up, and making things happen. When you really break it down, that's what that content is, and you're showing that struggle. Yellowstone was able to amplify that out. So I think there was interest, and then they come on and they get this guy, and they're like, man, I can learn from this guy. This guy, he's been through life. And he's going to tell me how it is, and I love it. I love how he's done. And then too, I love how YouTube has expanded his business in a way that he didn't even know was possible. And he all just did it through telling stories. And I can guarantee you, you go camping with this guy, you go on a horseback ride, guarantee he's telling these same stories.
Oh yeah,
now
sure.
Yeah.
And one of the other cool things about Dwayne is he's just using, like, a screen grab for all of his thumbnails.
Yeah.
Like, he's not doing, like, the YouTube thumbnail.
I don't think he's doing a screen grab. I just think YouTube auto selects.
That's what I mean. He's using, like, an auto selected, just like an image of the video. Yeah. And it's just him sitting there like as a cowboy in a barn or outside somewhere. And immediately you're like, I'm watching it. Yeah. But I don't care what the title is. I'm in.
His titling's pretty on point. At least with the ones that are really performing, because it creates this. Wait, what's he going to tell me? How's he going to engage with it? So I think it's great.
Yeah,
that just tells you, like, nothing. You don't have to be in the Mr. Beast. You don't have to do this. Like, what you need to do is, like, figure out what you're really good at, and what you're passionate about. And if you're willing to really talk to someone or help someone and bring value, that's what YouTube's looking at.
Dwayne, to me, the Dry Creek Wrangler School looks like somebody. Before I even hear him speak, and that's just icing on the cake. But I see him, and I'm just like, that's somebody I might want to listen to. Yep. He has a look. He's interesting, and then you hear him speak. He's got that
voice, like he's like a Sam Elliott voice. I mean,
it is 100%. Yeah, so nailed it across the board.
Hey, really quick. So Sabine's Best World, and I hope I said that correctly. They say, Derral, do you offer content strategy consulting?
When I got time. So you can just go to derraleaves.com. There's the consulting page. They can squeeze in. I'm in production right now. That doesn't mean a lot for you, but like I'm literally living crazy lives right now. We're doing season 5 of the TV show that I produce. And then I do a group coaching setting. It's called Channel Jumpstart. You go to channeljumpstart.com. It's 12 weeks. You can go either way with it. Generally, most people that do the 1 hour, they sign up. I had a student that went through is going through Channel Jumpstart right now. And he was really excited because he just got 8 million video views on his first video that he did.
Nice.
And I'm like, you're wrong. And he goes, what do you mean? And I says, that's your video, but people reused your content in other videos, and you had over 100 million video views. He was really trending on it. He did something on the W and Caitlin Clark, and it was really well done. But the reality is his brand is now established, and we talked about how to capitalize on that momentum and go from there. So that's what I do. I love helping creators that have mission type content. They're driven by doing something bigger than just making money. Money's always going to be a byproduct of what we do if we do it right, and we do it with excellence. And so.
And one more is Neil, Urban Van Life. Thanks for the super chat. It says, we've just done Derral's channel Jumpstart, and it's changed our life. We're about to head off full-time traveling, and it's thanks to Derral for who he is and what he does.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's certain people that I just love, and Neil and his wife he's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah, they're good people.
Amazing. And what I love is he's all in, man. He just literally just sold his house, put everything in storage. He's now going on. He's literally living van life. And why? Yep. Because the type of content he wanted to create, always wanted, and knows it's going to work. He just couldn't because he wasn't living that lifestyle.
Yeah. Took a leap.
Leap of faith. Yeah.
Yep.
Next up on the list, we have JJ, the only bull in Asia. They upload 1 time per week or more. They do travel content. The goal of the channel is sharing my experience living in the Philippines and Southeast Asia. And the question is, all of my mics suck. Please recommend a wireless mic for under $200. By the way, my first live stream is tomorrow at 10 a.m. Wish me luck. So good luck on your first live stream. Go ahead, D.
Let me tell you this. Yeah, also, good luck on your live stream. But if you can make it to Thailand, we got a whole shelf of microphones over here that we're just not using.
Yeah, right. We can just give you one. Yeah.
It would cost more to ship a mic from here to the Philippines than it would be for you to fly over here and come get one.
Yeah, but if you happen to be cruising through Chiang Mai, let us know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so under $200. I don't know. I guess some of the Rode mics. I think the Rode wireless mic is right at $200, I believe. And with that, you get a wireless transmitter, and you get the mic that you actually connect yourself.
Be able to get a Gen 1 for a little bit cheaper.
Possibly.
I don't know how the battery life's going to be on.
And I think for around $150, I think you can get the Rode NTG. I believe.
Can you?
I think so. Yeah, that will just plug directly into your camera, so you don't need any type of interface with it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yes, I would look into both of those, but just look up Rode. They have some reasonably priced products that are also pretty good.
You can also go with off brands like Boya
and Deity.
You can go with Boya. You can also go with Saramonic. I think that's the name. Saramonic.
Yeah.
I know they're really popular in Asia. You just have to watch out for fakes.
Yeah.
I don't know how Saramonic does it, but Boya has a QR code that you have to scan to verify that it's actually a legit product, because there's so many fakes coming out. But because you're in the Philippines, you probably have access to both of those brands. A lot cheaper than Rode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Christina Smallhorn in the house. What's going on, Christina? Hope you're doing great.
Christina.
So next up, we have, she's also another student of Derral's. So JG, the True Finance is the name of the channel. They've been on YouTube for less than a month. They do finance content. The goal of the channel is because I love doing it. The question is, I'm Brazilian and I'm creating content in English now. There are only a few people in Brazil that have channels in English. Do you think I can be successful in English rather than Portuguese?
Yeah.
So I know this one hits a little bit close to home with Derral.
Yeah, please, for the love of everything that's holy, listen to my advice. Okay, this is really easy. Okay, the number one most viewed country in the world and has the most play buttons is India. Number 2 is the United States. Number 3 is Brazil. Portuguese. Do it in your own language. Like seriously. Like at the end of the day, and I know you might say, no, there's so much opportunity in the United States. I've seen channels go from 0 to 10 million subscribers like that in Brazil, because there's not those channels. So you can look at, inspiration in the United States and then really apply it in Brazil. But there's not a world that I would do anything different. And you might say, well, I want the CPMs can go there. CPMs will come. I've seen this happen in every country. It'll come as the demand's there. And I'm here to tell you that Brazil is obsessed with YouTube. They're obsessed with it. And I go there a lot. We're actually going again this year. But I've been there 7-8 times. And I remember going and presenting at a conference and telling about people YouTube, and they're kind of explaining what YouTube is and this whole thing. And now to see them fully adopt it. And then two, friends of mine and also other creators that have come in and created content for their people in their way and just blow up, and it transforms their life. I'm telling you, it does. And so I would say 100% do it in Portuguese. Don't do it in English. Get your base, really build that base. And then what I would do next is really look at, the value that you're bringing, and, be the Graham Stephan of Brazil. Like, you can do that.
Fun story. I was robbed in Salvador, Brazil, and I was beaten up by the police in northern Brazil in a little town called Itapua.
Nice.
Can I ask you a question? Because you've always just been that problem child because you got stranded in Mexico.
Oh man! Oh, you don't even know,
Derral. Yeah, you don't know the half of it.
Yeah. Like it's
No, here's the thing. I did a lot of really crazy traveling before it was kind of.
He is extremely adventurous.
Yeah.
And when you're adventurous like that, you end up in a lot of hairy situations.
Yeah. Pre-internet, where it was just like you just kind of had to figure stuff out.
Grab a Lonely Planet and hit the road.
Derral, so I have a question for you. We talked about Neil urban van life. You talked about how you sold the house, and he's doing the thing now.
That was a great way to pull away from your debauchery.
Oh, no. I just wanted to pull it back in because I'll forget this because you guys brought it up and I wanted to think about it.
Okay.
Because we talked about how he's taking a leap of faith. And it's important to understand, or for people to understand, that he's in Derral's program, the Jumpstart program. Mm-hmm. And Derral, I'd like to ask you, how much preparation did you do with him before he felt confident enough to take that leap? I mean, you got to have the tools. You got to have the tools to understand where you're going, right?
I didn't tell him to do it. I just want to make it clear.
Sure.
He saw the pattern of the type of content I want to create cannot be created the way that I'm doing it. Okay. And what I teach is look for patterns and let's see what those patterns are. And then let's test it. And he was able to get a lot of content. He's like, man, this would be so much easier if. And that's where the conversation is, and go from there. Like, it would be a great interview one day, of just how he's just literally sold everything and is just living in a van down by the river. But it's, the reality is he made that call because he wants to create better content and more authentic content. And I think what got his goat is he loves what he does and he loves what he's doing. And then he'll read a comment. It's like, well, you're not really living van life because you drive back to luxury, whatever. And now he's not. So.
Yeah, I think one thing that also stands out, about what he's doing is, one thing that I mention sometimes, Derral, is that, the creators that are, the most successful are usually the ones that are willing to do the things that the other creators are not. Right. Yeah. If that means, taking that leap, if that means staying up that extra few hours, if that means, missing something, if that means, having to hire somebody to help, if that means, whatever that thing is. I think that the big difference is just that it's successful creators just, they're willing to do more.
It's that way with anything in life.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're willing to put in those extra steps, the extra hours, find some things that you can sacrifice to accomplish whatever goal you're trying to hit. I mean, that's kind of where it's at. And Derral, before you come down too hard on me, I just want to tell you, we were before you come. No, because I see the chat. I see the chat. And people are like, "Yeah, don't travel with D." I just want to let you know. It happened to him once. We were in Venezuela. Back in like 1999.
Yeah, before it went to
it was still pretty sketchy. We were on a bus in the Andes Mountains in Venezuela and got pulled off the bus by a paramilitary group. Taken off
at gunpoint.
At gunpoint. And all the men were taken off the bus. We were all lined up like in firing squad. The women were left on the bus. Our mother was with us. So our mother's up on the bus.
Yeah,
we're lined up, and these guys with like fully on, machine guns, AK-47s, like pointing at all the guys. They go down the list, and I'm just like, well, this is it. This is how we go down in Venezuela. It's been a good run.
Right.
And they go down the line, and they're looking at people's IDs. They get to our passports. Okay, you know, they put us back on the bus. A lot of dudes didn't get back on the bus, and then they let the bus go on.
Yeah.
That was so.
It was scary.
So I wasn't alone on that one.
Yeah.
So I just want to let you know that it's not just me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But it was your idea to go to Venezuela, and it was your idea to go wherever it was we were going at that time.
Hey, Venezuela, it'll be fun. What could happen?
Right. He's like, yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah.
What is life if you don't have stories to tell?
Hey, that's right. That's right. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So the next
don't travel with me. Moral of the story.
So the next question. But with that said, you know, that adventure side has also generated like tons of fun though. Right.
Oh, I wouldn't.
So it's not all chaos. Like some of my best times that I've ever had have been with D.
Listen, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Yeah.
I wish the Mexico experience would have been like a year shorter.
Sure.
But for the rest of it, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
Yeah.
It made me who I am.
Yep.
I mean, if you're getting stranded, I mean, there's a couple places you don't want to be stranded, but Mexico's not bad. Come on.
Yeah.
Listen, I did not take Darrell's advice. I'm in Mexico, and Derral was like, and Derral, I don't know if you remember this. We were doing one of the live streams. That's what everybody was doing at the time. And Derral was like, listen, you got a story to tell. You know, you need to start documenting your story in Mexico, how you got stranded. And that's when I was going into content burnout at that point. I was like, man, he's right, but I just don't have it in me. Yeah. And I regret not doing it.
Yeah.
Because man, that was a wild story.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Listen to Derral. Is what I'm trying to say.
That's okay.
And another super chat from Neil at Urban Van Life says, fact, Derral did not make us homeless. He opened our eyes to our full potential, and we took the leap. Just adding that clarity. So our next question here is from Halsey77. They upload every other day. The type of channel is it's all about ice hockey. The goal of the channel is to get subscribers and get that 100,000 mark. And the question is, just would like you to look at my channel and see if I'm doing well on it, debating if I should keep doing shorts or offer long-term videos. So we're not looking at channels today. However, when it comes to a content creator, Derral, that's just getting started, let's take this approach. When it comes to somebody just getting started, there's so many different options that you can do. You can do vertical content that's short. You can do vertical content that's a little bit longer for the other platforms. You can make long form content. You can live stream. You can podcast. What do you recommend when somebody's first getting started? We'll just say making video content. What do you recommend?
I would recommend reading my book, and not just as a self promotion, because I wanted to help creators just see YouTube differently. So you can get that book right there. And then there's a section called Recon and Research, like really try to hone in what you want to create. Now, here is the biggest issue that I would say when creators come in. They're trying to look at the content they want to create, and they're like, no one does it the way that I do it. And what I would say is let's put that ego aside and put it there and just talk about the passion. So you're passionate about hockey. And what I would do if it was me is never search for hockey videos. I wouldn't. Okay. And you're like, wait, why would you do that? Well, oh my God. He's like, here we go. There we go. I would never do it. I would look for another sport. I would look for maybe FIFA and see what they're doing, and go to FootCrunch and go down, or go to Jesser for basketball content. You know, just see the type of channels that are in different sports, and then go look at hockey. Because like, I think what you need to do is see what's out there, see how they're creating content, see how they're pulling it in, how they're going from, you know, multiple views to millions and millions and millions of views and very loyal audience. And then the second thing I want you to do is never ever focus in on the subscriber. I want you to focus in on the viewer. Viewer always is the win. The byproduct of really understand who you're talking to will always lead to a bigger audience. That bigger audience will come for that 100,000 subscriber. And I think we get focused in on the number instead of really looking at the person, and we need to just look at that viewer. And what I want to do is have that viewer say, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just found this content so good. I'm thinking of 4 other people I want to share with, or I want to talk about this. I mean, look how we had the conversation around Dry Creek Wrangler School.
Right.
You know,
right.
That is what you want. And so to do that, you need to maybe get outside your niche a little bit, see what's going on, look at basketball, soccer, golf, and see what's out there, and then go and do recon and research. Go to that chapter and do exactly what I tell you to do, and then really break it down on the psychological triggers of what makes it all together and really look at it. But there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity to come into this. So really excited for you. Can't wait for your channel to start popping off.
And when it comes to Dry Creek Wrangler School, like the amazing thing about that is like
still talking about it.
One, we're still talking about it. Two is like, D introduced that to me. So we're hanging out at Starbucks, D starts sharing it with me. We're here on a live stream. Like, it's so good that like people are that it's just kind of like in the conversation, which is pretty incredible. Yeah. Absolutely well done on that.
Dwayne is like a guy you want to sit down and have a coffee with, or if you drink, have a beer with, or just sit around a campfire and just talk about life.
Yeah.
Talk about Venezuela.
Talk about Venezuela. Talk about riding horses in Venezuela.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, Dwayne's a great storyteller too.
Yeah.
Like he's done some extensive traveling, and fantastic storyteller, that guy.
Matt Pasquini, I hope I'm saying that, Pasquinelli, sorry about that, says, I would also recommend reading Derral's book as well there. So thank you for the super chat and the recommendation for Derral's book.
Must have.
So the next channel here is Real Life with Adrian and Ruth. They upload one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for 1 year or more. The type of channel that they have is travel while living full-time in our RV. I'm sure you've been inspired by Neil's story here. The question is, or the goal of the channel is to help viewers get on with adventure and help them with their RV life. And the question is, how can we grow viewers? So this is one of the questions that with what it is that you do, what it is that I do, like, how do I get views? How do I grow an audience on YouTube? This is one of the most common questions that we get. What are your recommendations when people ask you that question? What do you say?
So, let me just share with this story, and it's an RV channel, so that it will go into it. So I had this guy reach out and says, "Hey, I'm on Social Security, retirement. I'm not making it very, and I need to do something to bring in some extra income. And I hear this YouTube's thing." He said YouTube's. Seriously, it can do something for me. He's well into his late 60s or early 70s, and he bought an RV, and he wanted to go as a guide and kind of go through that whole thing. It's like, great. And he started putting up his videos, and he goes, "If only I could make $2,000 more a month, I'll be set." And he came in, and I mentored him, and he spent a lot of money, which he didn't really have to do this. Because I'm not, like, the challenge upstairs is expensive. I'm not going to lie, it is, because it's a lot of, there's more to it than just me. And so as we come into it and we start to define, we talked about his audience, and his audience was people like him, people that were coming into retirement, looking to downsize, travel a little bit. So they're boomers, and looking at, Yuma, Arizona, and different places that they can go and kind of connect. And he was putting out content. I says, "Well, have you ever talked to them specifically? Like, I mean, you're doing these tips, but what if you don't do tips?" And it was just like talking to them and talking about the adventures of, and kind of go through that. That led to videos that were, 4 or 5 minutes to 2-hour videos, like these massive videos. And if you think that he's an amazing editor, I'm here to tell you he's not. But his retention is through the roof. And one of my proudest moments is getting a text from him and seeing that he's making, hundreds of thousands of dollars, doing what he loves to do. And he's doing it in a way that YouTube makes it possible. So the point is, just because you're in an RV recording doesn't mean that people want to watch you. Just because you're giving tips on being in an RV, people are not going to want to watch you. What you need to look at is, what is your story? How does it intertwine? And once he started to share his story, people went on the long haul with him. They loved him driving down the road, talking about his life and things that he's going and what he's doing. They were kind of on that adventure with him, vicariously living through him and his boldness to just go to the next place. So for me, I love that. I love it. And then really, when you really hone down, if you make, a decent living, which he's like, if I gave numbers, it would freak people out. But he made more in a month than he did in a year in his other occupation. Like that's what he's doing, and so it's great. So.
I think that's an awesome thing about YouTube is how fast it can be transformative. Like like once it hits, then like from that point, it's like it can transform like everything so quickly. Yep. It's incredible. So the next question that we have is from Sile, I think is how you say this. They do bi-weekly content. The type of channel is I like doing all things gaming, vlogs, and memes. And the goal of the channel says I want to get brand deals, etc. And the question is, can I keep doing all kinds of videos on the same channel? I'm only 13, so I have time on my side and have a good start with over 30,000 subscribers now. When or if should I get an ad agency? I don't want to start multiple channels. So 13-year-old. Started a channel. They're up to 30,000 subscribers right now, basically looking for direction in terms of, what to do there. And it looks like they're putting out all kinds of videos on the same channel. So really quick, before Derral mentions this, I just want to say congratulations to you at 13 for just pursuing that thing that you want to do and hitting some really cool milestones in the process.
Yeah. I think you got to define what your content is and what you want to create. And you mentioned 3 different things. Now, maybe memes in your content or whatever, you can go from there. I think we can get specific. But the question is who inspires you? What type of content do you love? What type of value are they bringing you? As a creator, and then 2, more importantly, what does it inspire you to create? And so sometimes when you get inspiration coming from multiple sides, you create a channel that's more of a variety, and that's the worst thing you could ever do on YouTube. What you want to do is hone in what your content is. And so what I would look at is getting specific. So I have a student, Jenny Hoyos, younger, great. She crushes it in every aspect. She was trying to create content and she didn't realize what her content was. And I says, look, you cannot go outside these boundaries until you can bring your audience with you and you can develop out of it. Yours is about frugality and living on less and doing these great experiences or whatever, or getting stuff for free, whatever. And that's that value prop. And she leaned in on it. And then we went back and showed that it doesn't work when she works outside of that, just because that's what she's known for. And it's pretty funny when she came to my house, we were going I had some of my son's friends comes in, they're like, holy crap, Jenny, what is this in your house? Like, freaking out, and that's great.
You probably get that on a regular basis, just with all the, with all the different creators you have over there.
It was just really, really funny though. It was just like they're going off, and she was just barely like maybe 500,000, subscribers, but they just loved her stuff. They're like, oh my gosh, they were coming up, and I'm like, dude, don't fangirl out, just like,
what is her
10 notches.
What's her last name?
What's that?
What did you say her last name is?
Hoyos?
Hoyos. Jennifer Hoyos. Okay.
Yeah, Jenny. Yep. Jenny Hoyos. And anyways, just totally freaking out. And then 2, we went up to Cedar City, and the pizza, and all these kids came over, and it's just great. Look at who really inspires you, and then really hone in on that. And I think you can experiment, you can try different things, and then figure out what your lane is. If I was 13 and I was there, I would try to figure out what I'm the most passionate about and figure things out in a way where you're able to make better decision, better content. Now, here's the great news. It's easier for you to become big than anybody else on the channel, because you've lived, YouTube's your life and you're a part of it. What you need to do is just be willing to put in the time, energy, effort of being a great student of YouTube, not just watching it, but just learning about it. So I'm really excited that you're here, and a part of it asking questions, right? But the difference would be is I want you to go break apart other people's content, and I'd rather have you spend, no offense, guys, but I'd rather have you spend a little bit more time breaking apart people's content on your own time than watch this live stream, and really honing in what D and Nick has been saying and really looking at it and applying it, because it's all about the application of his advice, because he gives the same advice. Like I don't know how many times he gives the same advice. People don't take it, or when they take it, they think they're taking it, but they're really not. They're not seeing it. And so I would literally see who inspires you and look at their content and put it through the lens of, why do they do what they do? Why are they choosing this title? Why are they choosing this thumbnail? How are they pulling it in? Why is this only this short? And, whatever it may be. Why are they juxtapositioning it from, with some memes and stuff like that? That's what you need to ask, and then really look for the pattern. And I can guarantee you there's a pattern in everything. So.
Fantastic. So the next channel that we have here is called Storage and Cleanup. They upload one time per week or more. They've been on YouTube for a year or more. They do roller skate art roller skate art, help others. Hopefully one day I have 3. The goal of the channel is roller skate art channel to help others grow and share my journey. And the question is, I tried to clean up my channel by making 2 more. Now I have new learning curves, such as storage. What do I do with all the new and old content? That's a good question. So when it comes to storage, because you specifically have so much content that you're managing, what do you do for storing everything?
There's a magic door right here.
Oh, okay.
There's a rack.
Okay. All right.
Tony Stark thing opens up, and it's just a wall of servers.
There is a secret door. It goes to a secret room. But yes, I do a bulk of the storage there, and then cloud's the best. And then I'm just like a kind of a redundant person. So we have a lot of redundancy in it, but most of it just syncs to the cloud and to the server that I have. And I use Synology is what I use. So, servers.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
The next question that we have is from the Anxious Stepmom. They do educational content. The goal of the channel is to help women navigate the stepmom role with greater ease. My videos provide value through advice plus encouragement, and also drive traffic to my email list. The question is, I plan to start incorporating pre-recorded interviews via StreamYard with expert guests into my posting schedule. Tips for optimizing these for views, watch time, engagement, etc.
Don't do that.
All right, here we go.
Just don't do that. Different value prop of what you're doing right now. Like make it for what it is. If it's the expert interviews, use that as a podcast, and get very honed in on those types of interviews. And then you might be able to take clips and integrate it into your other content where it's adding some pepper to it. But I literally would not do it that way. If it's a totally different value prop than what you're currently doing. Now, if you want to phase out what you're doing and go more into the interview setting on their current channel, then yes, by all means, let's do it. But you can't create this type of content that's going to disconnect. If people are coming for the long form more interview, then that's what you need to weigh in on. It can't be sporadic on it. You just can't. You can't do it. And a lot of people will disagree and says, no, I've seen it. And I'm like, show it to me. Like show it to me that it's happening, and I will show you where it's hurting. And so I want the best for you. And so it's just more owning your content strategy and then building this opportunity for them to go deeper or something. There's other lateral things. And one of the things I talked about way back when, I think Vid Summit 3, I was talking about the clustering effect. And I truly do believe this. It's just like there's viewing patterns that YouTube sees and has relational data that's together. That's when the most underutilized tab is the audience tab, probably on YouTube. And you go in there and you can start seeing, oh, your audience likes this other type of content. That's great. Well, what if it was one of your other channels, and it's just like coincides, and it's like, oh, when they want the longer form, they go to the longer form piece of content. I have some of the fastest channels that were able to get monetized just in a few days followed the strategy because they went in, they go, oh, I know what this type of content is. I look forward to it. I'm giving recommendations who I want on it. And it's not this disjointed where sometimes it's interviews, sometimes it's not. Well, what if I only want interviews the whole time? And then I need to gravitate towards the channel that does that, or a podcast that does that. So,
love it. So next up on our list here Yeah, she said, I'm surprised to hear this, but thank you, was the response to that. So BJ Jones uploads 1 time per week or more. They do advocacy and life resources content. The goal of the channel is to show middle and lower income people available resources and learn from others. The question is, I'm unsure if I understand the your video contains paid promotion requirement. I included this notice in my video because I briefly mentioned an affiliate resource. However, I'm unsure if it's needed since the affiliate didn't sponsor or pay for the content. Is this notice necessary for something like that? I don't want to mislead anyone. Thanks for all you do. And that's okay. And then a link to the channel. So, yeah, so with this particular scenario, if you're just doing something as an affiliate and they haven't paid you ahead of time, then you don't need to put the video contains a paid promotion because they haven't given you anything in exchange for you making that video. So because of that, you don't have to put that. But you just want to put a stamp on that, Derral?
Yeah, for sure. I
Okay.
I 100% agree with that.
Yep.
So.
And next up, we've got Rachel Smets. Rachel Smets uploads 1 time per week or more. She has an educational channel. It's Speaking and Communication. The goal of the channel is more viewers to find the content. And the question is, titles and thumbs. How can I learn how to be more compelling? I've tried using celebrities to show their communication skills in my videos. I've tried using specific keywords, public speaking, confidence, and I try to be more general, speak with confidence. I have a week of 1,000 views and then again back to 12 views. I'm puzzled. Thank you so much. So basically, yeah, consistency in terms of, like average view counts is a problem and just learning how to be more compelling. So I believe it was in your Facebook group, Derral, your Creators Helping Creators group, where at one point, I think this was about a year ago, Rachel was in there also at that time, looking for help with thumbnails and titles. And at that particular time, I did like a screen recording. It was just basically just showing, ways that she could kind of improve what it was that she was doing. And from there, she's went and she's, made some of those changes and those sorts of things. But it seems to be like there's a big gap in terms of like, okay, I'm hearing the message, but I'm not really sure how to apply what it is that I'm hearing to what it is that I'm doing. Any recommendations?
Yeah, I would say there might be some things that you're not seeing. So I would go into analytics, and then when you're in analytics, upper right-hand corner, there's advanced mode. Click on advanced mode, and then you'll go in there, and the upper right-hand side, you'll hit compare, and then create a group. You'll just hit a create a group or type in YouTube how to create a group in analytics. And I want you to put all the videos that have over 1,000 views on it in there. Like if you're only getting just tens of views and 1,000 views, I want you to group it there. And then what you're able to do is just analyze those videos very specifically. And then I would create another group, all the videos that do not hit that. And I want you to analyze those differently. So there might be a theme or something around those 1,000 viewed videos. But I do not want you to take this the wrong way. And I don't want it to be misunderstood. And I don't want to discourage you. But 1,000 views is not that many. And so that I would even view that as a problem. But what we need to do is really look at, what's going on with these videos, and then what's the commonality of the patterns that we see? Is there something in the packaging? I would do everything from the click, the traffic source, to the retention, to the drop off, to also look at the demographic data of like who's watching it, who's watching what, and why, and then really hone in on that. And you might find a pattern like, oh, these videos are coming from search, and that's what's going from here, or this is one where it's really resonating with this specific type of audience. Well, I didn't think about that. Maybe I need to start addressing them in that way. So for me, I would definitely look at those patterns. Now, you might get overwhelmed with this, but it can be just as simple as look at all the videos that are just over 1,000 views and say, okay, what's going on with these videos? Let's read the comments. Let's go through the video. Let's go in depth on that. So,
love it. So the next question that we have here on our list is from, it's a gaming channel, or they say that that's the name of the channel. They upload every other day. They do Clash of Clans content. The goal of the channel is to help and inspire people. And the question is, I have videos that provide info about bases in Clash of Clans. Lots of people watch the videos, take the info, but then they never come back as a return viewer. What should I do with those videos? Love this question. So in terms of, everybody here, so this can apply to everybody. When it comes to getting people to come back to your channel, right, and just getting that connection, what are your recommendations on just creating that connection with your viewers, creating value that they want to keep coming back for, and just the whole, everything involved with getting people to come back to your channel?
Yeah, I think the thing for me is Clash is its own subculture. And if you're playing Clash, people are looking to get an advantage or a strategy behind. And there's different stages of where they're at. And the moment that you're giving a stage to come in and get that value, they're not coming back. So they're going to find you through search or even recommended when they're looking for something like that, because what they're trying to do is level up their game. You're unfortunately going to be stuck in that rut if that is what you're trying to do. Now, the difference would be this is a different game. Same Supercell made the same game. It's called Clash of Clans. And if you go to Clash of Clans, look up Judo Sloth. He switched from how-to tutorial to scenario-driven. Like, I wonder if I can upgrade my stuff by doing blah, 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 blah. Like, he blew up doing that. And then it's more, they're getting strategy, they're getting tactics, but they're also like, they like what they're into, right? They get to see that. And so for me, I definitely would do that. Super smart, been a student of mine, he's great. But it's just more realizing, hey, if someone's interested in Clash, they're curious, how fast can you do X, Y, or Z? Or the hypothesis, if I put this stuff together, will it actually win? And you don't have to win every time. You could lose and it's whatever. But if you look at it that way, then it's more about, I'm into Clash, so I'm going to watch it. Hey, I might learn something along the way, but it's just more, I love that world. I love that community.
There we go. So next up on our list here, we've got BDTube 2006. They do how-to content. The goal of the channel is education and passive income. The question is, after completing an affiliate marketing course, I decided to test some content on my Sandbox channel. To my surprise,
you can say it, man.
I know, right? Yeah, root for me, D. Come on.
Yeah.
To my surprise, my subscriber count and watch hours increased, and I'm nearly eligible for monetization. Question: is there a way to rebrand the channel without losing the 2.7 thousand subscribers and 3,300 watch hours that I can leverage? Is the channel name a deal breaker? So basically, it sounds like they're just wanting to update the channel name, and they're worried that if they do that, that it might cause some type of issue in terms of their subscribers or the watch time that they've had.
Yeah, I don't know if it will or not. I don't know if your face is on the thumbnail. I don't know if that's the stuff that you're pulling together, but I think you're still under the radar. I think you can definitely do it. I mean, if you had, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and millions of weekly views, I would say no, but yeah, it just depends on what you're looking to do. If you can kind of keep some of the elements there, then people might not even notice, but it's just totally up to you. So.
And one thing I want to mention really quick also, just for everyone that's hanging out here, if you're, watching this right now, you probably see the get tickets at vidsummit.com underneath both of our screens right now. So just as a quick reminder, VidSummit is a conference for content creators. It's the conference for content creators. It's coming up September 5th through the 3rd in Dallas, Texas. And if you're a content creator that's serious about what it is that you're doing on YouTube and you want to learn how to take things to the next level, VidSummit is the place to learn how to do that. So I have a link down in the video description, or just like you see here on the screen, you can go to vidsummit.com and you can check out, the information, see all the speakers that are going to be there. But when it comes to the speakers that are there, Derral has some of the, most talented people on the platform coming there. There's people from YouTube, like actual YouTube staff that are coming there to share information as well, all the way around. Like I was telling my brother, Derral, that, when I go to other conferences, like VidSummit's the only one that when I leave, I feel motivated. I feel inspired. Yeah. I feel like I'm just bursting with ideas just from the conversations that I've had with people and everything. Like it's the only one to where when I leave, I feel that way. Everything else, it's like you go, maybe you'll learn some stuff, whatever, but you just don't carry that energy with you, when you leave. And that's one thing that I really, really enjoy about VidSummit is like when you leave, you're just exploding with just like energy and ideas and everything. So
well, let's give away some tickets then, because like I have another virtual workshop that I'm doing for some students in San Diego. Okay. But if we could do that, that'd be great.
Awesome. That would be fantastic. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So we have we came. Yeah, we came prepared for this because we're like, when he comes on, he usually does this. So not sure, but we're going to have it ready just in case.
And when he says he means me.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah,
always. Right. Yeah.
Wait, I already got that. We'll know how it goes in a break. We only have one entry right now.
So this works.
I want to just say this. Last year was actually a big leap for Vid Summit. We went to a new state, new city, new location. And I always worry about it because I like the culture of things, and the culture of Vid Summit is like, I want people to walk away motivated and want to do more and want to do things bigger and want to really hone in on this side. And so for me, I get really excited to hear that coming from you, Nick, because like sometimes the grind of doing the day to day, it's nice to go to a place where people see the same things that you see as the opportunity, or you're having those discussions in ways that you can't in other conferences. And you might say, hey, there's other conferences out there. And I think every conference has its purpose. So like VidCon's great conference. It really is. But it's more for fans to connect with the creators, right? And not saying that other stuff doesn't happen, but our main focus is only creators helping creators. That's it. We're not a fan event. We don't want you to be a fan. We want you to be a colleague and really look at it that way. And it's just great. One of my favorite things to do is like, I always see these up and coming YouTubers, and I invited one years ago. He had about 4 million subscribers. And he's like, dude, I finally found a place where I'm at, that people take YouTube as seriously as I do. I'm like, it's always been here, man. And now he's the biggest YouTuber in the world. It's just great. And also he's a co-owner of Vid Summit. He's just passionate about that. So yeah, 100%. It's for you, and it's all about creators helping creators. So,
yep. And in order to win these, all you have to do, just as a heads up, in case this is your first time just seeing a word, tossed up on the screen, what we do when we do giveaways here is all you have to do is just put the word that is up on the screen right now. So you put up the whole Vid Summit 2024, and then when you do that, it's going to add that entry to what's on the page right now, and that's going to qualify you for that. If you are watching this on Twitter, make sure that you head over to YouTube for this, because that's where everything is being counted. So make sure that you do head over to YouTube for this. But you put in Vid Summit 2024, and then this is going to randomly select somebody, so that there's, so that it's all, in the up and up and, all that good stuff. So you don't have to worry about any of those things. But yeah, like when it comes to, to Vid Summit, I think that one of the other things is if you are somebody, because I have these conversations, with people too, to where people that have never been to like a conference of any kind, or they haven't been to something like this. And one of the things that people will say is they'll say like, well, if I go there, like, how do I, like, how am I going to talk to people? How do I know like who to meet and things like that? So the first thing that I want to say is that, you are around a bunch of other content creators, and just by default, you're going to end up talking to somebody. But if you do go there and you're like, yeah, I'm having trouble talking to people, you can hunt down me, you can hunt down D, and, you can hang out with us until you find a conversation to, fit into, and we're, totally fine with that. I did that a little bit last year as well. So like when, if you go there and you are, having anything like that and you're trying to get comfortable, come and find us, and we'll help, kind of work that out of you as well. Because, like we believe that, Vid Summit can make a massive change in people's lives, because we've personally seen it happen to a lot of people.
We've seen it happen to people who won tickets and went there.
Yeah,
people who won tickets on this live, not this one, but on the show. Go to Vid Summit. Have their mind blown, come out of there full of energy, and just go that full speed ahead down the creator path and do well.
One example I love to give, just because she's been such a really cool story, is Natalie. Yeah, from Design to the Nine. So basically, she was in here. She was participating in a live stream, just like a lot of you are right now. And she won a ticket, and she went to Vid Summit.
Changed her life.
And changed her life. She basically ended up going all in on YouTube, after that. Now she's making huge brand deals. She's making tons of money off of AdSense. She even has like her own like tools coming out and like all of this really cool stuff. So she's really, taken the opportunity, and she's literally just ran with it like crazy. But there's a bunch of stories like that. But Natalie's the one that I really like to highlight.
Quit his job.
Oh, did he?
For her.
Awesome.
Oh, Yeah, even better.
Nice.
Even better. But yeah, so like I just can't emphasize enough, just the value that you'll get there and just the impact that it can make. So, if you are there and you can make it, to Vid Summit, even if you don't win a ticket here during the stream, make sure that you go to vidsummit.com. You can get the replays as well. But when it comes to the replays, like they're still great because you still get, the information, but there's a big difference between actually being there in person and getting the replays because when you're watching the replays, right, you're getting the information and you're hearing everything, but that whole thing about the energy and the inspiration and like when you're finished with it, you just feel like super motivated and ideas are all over the place and all of that. Like that comes from the in-person side because when you're watching it, the replays, it's like, okay, I'm getting the education here, but you're not picking up the vibe, right, so to speak, and you're not having those conversations with people that happen in the hallways. So because of that, I do recommend that if you do have the option that you do get a ticket, and you can get that at vidsummit.com. But if you can't and you want the education, then you can also get the replays available over there as well.
Well, I got to jump off.
Let's spin this puppy. Spin it, D.
All right, we got it. We have 66 entries in here.
Spin it.
I'll give you guys just like 3 more seconds. Go ahead, VidSummit 2024.
2, 1.
I'm going to spin it to 67. We got 67. We got 66 right now. We get 67. Going to spin it. We don't have 67. I'm going to spin it anyway. Here we go.
I see like an auctioneer.
There we go. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's going to VidSummit? Who's going to VidSummit? Who's it going to be? Winnie
Lungovic.
Lungovic. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations. Yep.
You were going to VidSummit.
Yep. So
let's do another one.
Okay, one more. Hold on, Winnie.
Let's do 2 more.
Okay, 2 more. Let me just screenshot this really quick.
All right,
capture
you guys
visible part.
I
did not, but it's in the live stream, so I can go back and find it.
I did a screenshot. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Let me fire up another one here.
Okay,
Hold on one second here. That
anticipation, like what is D going to come up with?
Yeah.
I think you just hit draw again, just so we don't have to do that again.
You could just do draw again.
Could you guys let me know who the winners is?
Absolutely.
I do apologize.
Derral, thank you so much for coming on to the stream today.
Thank
you so much for coming on here, sharing your knowledge. Always appreciated. Super looking forward to seeing you at Vid Summit.
Yep.
And I will talk to you soon.
2 more tickets. You get 2 more giveaways, okay?
Okay, sounds good. Thank you,
go.
Derral.
All right. Okay, thanks.
There you go. Switched up a little bit. It is now Vid Summit 24.
All right, keeping people on their toes.
Can you just hit draw again?
Yeah.
Why didn't I see that?
Or I think maybe you have to like refresh the page or something like that at the top. Yeah.
That's okay.
Or maybe after you draw it, it says it there. Yeah, I can't remember, but I've seen it on the page.
All right, here we go. If you can go to Vid Summit, type in Vid Summit.
Yeah, and also keep in mind, like if this is like only put your name in here if you can physically get to Dallas, Texas, September 3rd through the 5th, right? Because these are tickets. This is not travel. So only put your name in there if you can physically get to Dallas, Texas on September 3rd through the 5th.
Right. Well, we got
super exciting. So that was awesome. I love when Derral comes on here because he has such just like an expert point of view on everything, just from so much all the experience that he has.
Yep.
That I love just like hearing how he explains things and just the advice that he gives. Like he's so good. So good.
All right, we have 54 entries. I guess 10 people quit already.
Yep, here we go. Maybe it's the traveling to part that got some people out. I'm not sure. All right, let's go.
Let's go. We're gonna do. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do golf claps to this one.
Okay.
Ready?
Let me get a Google Doc open really quick, D, so that I can make sure that I can write this down as it goes down.
We're gonna golf clap this one.
Okay.
Here we go. We got 58. Ready? Are you ready?
I'm waiting for it to pull. Okay, go.
All right, we're gonna golf.
Everybody golf clap. Here we go.
We're going to golf clap.
Here we go. Golf claps. Golf claps for the neighbors here.
Who's going to be?
Golf claps. Moraine Cresp. Love it.
Congratulations.
Mary Ann
Congratulations.
Cresp.
She just shot a hole-in-one across the greens.
Across the greens. We got a hole-in-one. Looks like. And the crowd's going wild.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Is it Mary Ann?
Yep,
Mary Ann Cresp.
So
congratulations, you're going to Vid Summit.
Yep, congratulations. So Mary Ann, so I put your name down here, but do me a favor when you get the opportunity, go to my Twitter account, follow me on Twitter, and just send me a DM. If you cannot send me a DM for whatever reason, then just at me, and just say, I won Vid Summit tickets, and then I'll follow you, and then you can add me there, and I'll actually send you a DM, the other direction, because I'm going to need like your email address and that kind of stuff so that I can send it off to Derral. So if you could just DM me on Twitter, then I can get you all sorted over there as well. And then we got one more. D.
We got one more, and I do
congratulations
see that.
to you, Marianne. And hey, Marianne, like I mentioned earlier too, like if you go there and you're like having trouble, like like if you're like super introverted or something like that, and you're like, I don't really know like where to start, come and find me or D, and we will, you can just hang out with us, until you're like, oh yeah, I want to stay in this conversation.
Hold on. She says, sorry, I'm in Sydney, Australia. I entered before that info. It's live.
Oh, okay. Thanks for the honesty. Super appreciate it. So then we'll just draw it again.
We're going to keep spinning.
Yep.
Now, here's the funny thing.
Okay.
I've used this tool so many times.
Oh, yeah, you use it all the time. Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many times. I've never noticed the draw again button in the top right-hand corner.
Oh, that's funny.
Ever. Because I'm used to just changing the word all the time.
Sure.
I've never been looking for it. All right, so we're going to draw it again. There's 60 entries, so you can still type in VidSummit 24.
Yeah, and technically, since they're in there, then it'll probably just automatically put them back in the thing from saying it before.
It is, because it says 60 entries.
Yeah, perfect.
Here we go. Draw it again. Let's go.
Let's go.
No,
Let's go. Oh, sorry, I forgot. We're golf clapping. Okay,
we're
here we
going to
go.
golf class this one. Here we go.
Here we go for the golf clap. Let's see who gets it.
We're going to see who gets it. We're going to. Oh, no. Oh,
and Beaver Zero. I thought Doug Houston was going to get it. I was like, Doug already got one. Okay, Beaver Zero, congratulations to you. So same thing for you. Just make sure that you send me a DM on Twitter so that I can get your information and send all of that over to Derral. And that's with a 0 there.
Yes.
So super cool of Derral to give these away. I love that he is kind with his tickets.
Yes.
Like I understand there's like, marketing and stuff like that, that goes along with it. But like he doesn't have to do that. Like he can just come on and, we do the marketing and all that stuff anyway and just letting people know about it. But he still, is kind enough to give people this opportunity.
And if I'm not mistaken, cool. Beaver Zero was commenting on the price of tickets.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So you are going to VidSummit for free.
Yep.
You do have to pay for your lodging and your airfare,
right.
but the ticket itself is actually free.
Yep.
So if you are unable to go, let us know and we'll keep
Beaver says, what if I don't have Twitter? Send me an email at askniman@gmail.com. askniman@gmail.com. You can find that same email on my About Me page. I might even have it in some video descriptions. Just send me an email there, and just in the subject line, just say that, because I get a lot of emails because it's my public facing email. So just say I won Vid Summit tickets. Put your channel name, maybe even screenshot this right now, and send me the screenshot as well, just to make it easy, right? Just to make it easy.
All right. Okay. Let's go again.
Let's do it.
Draw. Ready?
Yep.
Let's do finger snaps on the next one.
Finger snaps. Okay.
All right.
So everybody, if you are playing along from home, we are going to be finger snapping. We're
going to be finger snapping.
This one, which means just this, right?
Yeah. We're going to.
Okay, that's going to be our claps. Okay, ready. Let's do it. Okay, everybody, get your fingers ready.
We're going to finger snap.
Here we go. Finger snaps.
Little snaps.
Here we go. I feel like I'm ASMR, and yeah, that's what I was about to say.
12. Congratulations,
right,
12.
Congratulations to you.
12 was in there snapping fingers.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So is that it? Is that all of them?
That's it.
There you go.
That's a wrap for the Vid Summit ticket. Same exact thing. If you can send me the email on Twitter or the DM on Twitter, that would be fantastic. If you don't have Twitter, and you can just send me an email at askniman@gmail.com, and then I'll get your information, pass that all over to Derral, and then he'll get you sorted over there.
12 says I manifested.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, here's a little Twitter thing or an X thing. If you have an unverified account, that means you are not a paid account. Depending on how you have your DM set, you might not be able to send a DM.
I think mine are open.
Are you okay?
I think so. Yeah.
If not, if you're blocked,
yeah, because I get So okay. I'm pretty sure I'm open.
If for some reason you can't, just at him first and say, "Yo, trying to send you a DM.
Yeah.
I won Vid Summit tickets," and then he can add you that way.
Yep. 12 says OMG. Yep.
OMG.
Yep.
Manifestation.
Yep. Worked.
That worked.
Yep. Congratulations.
Here's the thing: you could have manifested anything today, and that's what you manifested.
Yep. It's good.
Congratulations.
That's good,
yep.
right? Yep, fantastic. He says after calm down, I'll message you. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you there. Right, looking forward to seeing you there.
Yes.
So on that note, again, I want to remind everybody that when it comes to Vid Summit, you can get tickets to that at vidsummit.com. I've got links to Vid Summit and some other stuff that Derral does down in the video description, as well as a bunch of other helpful tools and resources that you'll find valuable for yourself as a creator down in the description also. And I do want to remind you, if you're a new content creator and you're somebody that's just starting on this road and things aren't really going the way that you have hoped, up to this point, one thing that I do want to just let you know is that YouTube is a learning curve, just like anything else that you're going to do. It's difficult if you've never done something like this before, and the process is that you have to go through that learning curve and develop the skills and understanding in order to, and this is if things aren't working out for you right now, you have to develop those skills and understanding in order to get you to that point to where you can, do everything in a way that other people will respond to it. And if you come onto the platform and you're like, okay, this very first video, it's gonna be perfect and everybody's gonna love it. And if that didn't happen, just don't be discouraged by it. Just understand that that's just where you're at in the learning process. And what I recommend that you do is that you look at the places where you feel that you're currently deficient compared to like other videos that you watch, in terms of like, man, they do it this way, and mine isn't isn't like that right now. They do their thumbnails like this, they do their titles like this. When their videos start, they feel like this, and those types of things. But start looking for those areas where you're deficient and start working on those skills first, right? The things that you already identify. And then as you start working through those things, those are going to help you identify some other things that you need to work on. And keep in mind, like, this is a continual thing, right? Like, we've been doing this for a decade. I'm still learning stuff, still figuring stuff out as we go along as well. So, just keep in mind that it's all part of the learning curve. So with that out of the way, hang in there. You got this. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed Derral's information as well. Super valuable. Appreciate him for coming on here also. D, great stream.
Yep.
As always. And everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and we will see you next time.